Welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. We're going to do a little bit of cooking. We got the grill fired up. Smoke is rolling. And y'all, we have the Christmas pork loin that never got cooked for Christmas. It's been in the freezer. I said, hey, let's dig it out. Let's cook it. So what I'm going to do, cut this in half, and you're going to have to forgive these roosters. It come a little shower of rain, and they have been screaming nonstop ever since. I thought about going out there and strangling them, but I already got more pork loin than I can eat tonight, so I don't need to eat old tough rooster. So we just gonna have to endure them. I told them to be quiet, and they didn't pay me not one bit of attention, y'all. I mean, it's like they hard of hearing. And I reckon they are, because they probably done screamed out there till they can't hear themselves think, it's just echoing. Anyway, I'm going to cut this pork loin in half, and I'm going to butterfly half of it and cook it as I was going to originally cook the whole thing. Hey, Larry, I am going to cut the other half up into pork chops, and I'm going to cook all of it tonight. And we'll eat what we want of it because and here's the deal. This got thawed out one time. And it got put back in the freezer. And now that it's thawed out, I don't want to refreeze part of it. If it goes to waste, then, so we figure if we cut up pork chops, I can put them in the refrigerator cooked and eat on them for 2 or 3 days better than we can freeze it and then have to recook them. So grill's fired up. I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. And then I'm going to cut all my pork chops up, and I'm going to put them back in the pan over here that they were originally in. So I got my little bitty knife right here.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, bud.
What are you doing?
I'm fixing to cook.
Cook what?
Cook a hog's back.
Yeah, I can even see it.
Yeah, that's the back part of a hog.
Where'd you catch it at?
I didn't catch it. I caught it at the grocery store. I caught it over on aisle 7. You ain't got nothing to do?
No.
Oh, Lord, that's bad news for all of us.
I want to help you.
Well, let's just wait while I got this sharp knife. Let me get this cut up. And y'all, I cut these pork chops pretty thick. I'll show you here in a second. And I tell you what we done. We caught these pork chops on sale. See, they got that. A lot of times I'll go ahead and cut all that off, but I ain't got time to do all that tonight. But see, I got them cut fairly thick.
I'm going to put them on the grill.
Yeah, I am.
I'm going to help you put them on the grill.
Okay, you can help do that part.
Yeah, I'm going to pick them up with my hands. I didn't wash my hands.
You didn't wash your hands? I probably ain't going to let you pick them up.
I did wash my hands.
Did you get a bath yesterday and get all that swamp mud washed off of you?
Yeah, and I always washed my hands.
You did?
Yeah, I washed my hands.
Okay.
I'm going to pick them up with my hands and put them on the grill.
We're going to put that hot seasoning on them first?
No.
Why not?
Not mine.
Well, they going to be thick enough. I'll cut 1 or 2 a little thinner. How about that?
Yeah.
I believe my knife getting dull. Where's my knife sharpener? You know where my blue knife sharpener is?
Is it out here?
I thought it might be in this box. I got a spoon and a tea bag there. The tea bag is for a special something we're going to do a little later on. His mama has done tricked him over there. She went to the Walmarts and found one of them nets that go over the door. That's got the magnets down the middle. And Brody's done just about mangled it up over him. He's trapped in it right now. He's got it tore up. He's trying to fix it. Let me show y'all what I'm referring to here. Yeah. Yeah. He'll have that shredded, I'm sure. Between him and Roscoe. I do pretty good with this till I get down there to that bottom, that tough part that I should have whittled off. I'm gonna cut that right there. Leave that over there.
You're gonna have to cut that part.
You watch back.
Okay.
Well, I got this sharp knife. I don't need you over here meddling with me. Cause me to whack one of my fingers off, and I won't even be able to count no more. Lose count of my money and we'll be going in the hole. Let me put them in a.
When are we gonna put them on the grill?
Here in just a second. I got some other stuff I gotta do first. But we're gonna lay them all in this.
What are we gonna do with that one?
Like so, where we can season them up good. Are you running out of questions to ask?
Yeah.
I noticed you was getting quiet.
What are we gonna do with that part? What are we gonna do with this piece of...
Lawson's watching you.
Gala!
Y'all, Lawson's his first cousin. All right. Let me. We're gonna put this eat 'em raw on there.
Okay.
I tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna take. Where's that thin one I cut? That ain't it. I cut. Well, I done lost it.
It's gonna be the same.
That's fairly thin. My head's itching. I was gonna find, it don't matter if it's thin or thick, we'll cut him a whack of it off. I was gonna lay Brody a couple over here to the side and not put a pile of seasoning on all of them. That ain't quite as thick. All right, and then we'll season all these other ones up good. Brody, you don't want no seasoning on yours?
No.
Boy, it'll taste terrible.
I don't want none.
You don't want no seasoning, not whatsoever. Mr. Martin sent some seasoning over here that ain't hot at all. You want to try it?
Yeah.
Taste of it and see if, hold your hand out. Taste of it. Oh, Lord. He does that with everything. Mr. Martin sent me that the other day in that care package. I hadn't even eaten none of it. I started to put some at camp. I'll put Tony Satchery's on it if you don't watch. I put Tony Satchery's on about everything, but I'll put this eat 'em raw on there. I'm out of my picking and grilling. I would have loved to have put some picking. You know what? I may have had some picking and grilling original. Go ask Mama if we got any picking and grilling in there. I think I did buy a can the other day. That's what I want to put on my pork loin. That is what they want to put. Brody, hang on. Let me help him. Look, son. Look. Open this. Quick. Please get out of the chair. I need some picking and grilling. He has really shredded that. It ain't got door thing ain't gonna make it. I'm telling you. Y'all, what am I gonna do with the boy? He's tearing up more than I can fix. I'm gonna leave these over here. I don't know how he wants his cooked. Okay. Now on to cooking this pork loin. Now you can barely see it in the bottom of the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna double butterfly it. Okay. I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna cut it here. That's what I need. Cream cheese, a little bit of bacon, and some picking and grilling. Y'all, this picking and grilling, I love this stuff. And I had some people order it that seen it on here. And my buddy that lives around here, they make it and ship it out. And some things got crosswise, man. Y'all, they straightened it out right straight. Sent the guy what he needed. So they good people to deal with. And I don't have a link to the website or nothing, but you can order this picking and grilling if they don't sell it. And they've got several different flavors. But I really do like, if I'm buying a season, it is, and this is the original, I like it. They have a banjo dust and I don't know what all, so. All right, get this here cream cheese
I don't know. I don't want cream cheese or anything grilling or hot stuff on mine.
Okay.
That piece right, this piece
I got
right.
them laid over here for you.
Okay.
Them over there's for you. You let me do what I want to with this. Okay?
Okay. See ya.
How yoked is, y'all? If they don't watch me, I'll lay it down and just cut the pack in half. Matter of fact, this is how you open this right hand stuff. All right. That's how you do it. So we're gonna use the majority of it. I got a spoon right here. Oh. And y'all, if you ain't never cooked this, I'm gonna have to have some tin foil. Cause you wrap this up after a little bit. I'm finna have to cut that in half. I just gotta make it fit in here. See that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is looking very, very, very good. All right. We need to cut. Boy, when your hands get slick, it's hard to handle this stuff, ain't it? Oh, Lord. I ain't gonna be able to get it out of there. We'll get it some way or another. We're gonna get it out of here. I don't know what kind of shape it's gonna be in time we get through now. There we go. All right. Brody done got over there and got in the water. His mama is gonna strangle him. Look at him. See him right there? What are you doing, boy? A mud hole just attracts him like a moth to a flame. I was gonna get that right there crammed off back down in this right here, but that ain't happening, is it? We'll figure something else out with that here a little later on. All right, next order of business. We got these Mount Olive. And somebody messaged me the other day when I showed a Mount Olive jar. Said they was from right in that area. I don't know if they still live there or was raised there or something or other, but they make some good pickled stuff, and I love their pickled jalapenos. And you see I'm putting a plenty of them on here. And you cram them all down in there in them butterflied places of this pork loin real good. Because if you don't like them, when you go to eat it, you can rake that off out of your plate. I done figured out. It's easier to let people rake off and pick off stuff that they don't like off of the food than it is for you to not cook with it trying to please them. You know what I mean? That's just the way I figured out was the best way to operate. Y'all, let me go get me a piece of tin foil to put this on. I done got my knife in a mess. I'm gonna lay it over here on the Blackstone. And then I got some bacon. I may not have enough bacon out here. I got another whole pack in yonder. I ain't got but 3 pieces. I gotta have a few pieces of bacon. So I'll be right back. Y'all don't go nowhere. I promise I'm coming back. I won't leave you out here by yourself long. I'll let y'all watch Brody over there get into trouble. I need tin foil.
Brody, don't get wet.
Okay.
Y'all still there? You didn't go nowhere, did you? It was a good time to run to the bathroom right quick if you needed to go, you know. My coffee done got cold on me. All right. So I went and got me a few more pieces of bacon, and this stuff right here, I'm gonna have to wipe this up. I got another towel. I gotta clean that off. I can't handle that. And I ain't got no paper towels out here. I had some paper towels out here, but I found out real quick that paper towels out here, when the wind gets blowing and they on that paper towel holder that mounts to my Blackstone, it'll sit there and spin, and them things, they'll just roll your yard for you, just pretty as you please. You can only imagine, can't you? All right. Let me pull off me a... Now, I don't know. We had to guesstimate around here about how much, a little extra. That way we ain't fumbling around with it. All right, I'm going to slide that up. Slide this down. Slide that back over. Slide it all on over some more, and that'll be enough sliding right there. What do you think? All right. We got 2 bacon. You can tell one of them's done aged. I need a bigger garbage can out here too. My grill's on 150. It ain't getting real hot. I'm thinking about making my own charcoal. All right. So we're going to weave this bacon on here. I'm going to do that piece like that. And that piece like that. And that piece like that. We're going to raise this one up and go across that. And then we're going to raise these 2 up. Go across like this. Whoa, 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 I messed up there. Alright, we got it back on track. So I need to come over with this. Over with this. I like to make it pretty now. Raise that one up and go under it like that. Oh, look at that. Oh, you know what I didn't do? We got to raise all that back over. Because we ain't put no seasoning whatsoever on here. I ain't even opened this. I bet you can't even. I done got greasy hands, boy. That's why you got to keep some of these rags around. Everything gets slimy while you're cooking. I don't like slimy fingers. Yes. Yes. That's fine stuff right there. Well, how you open it? There it goes. Oh, I about shredded the top when I done that. And I'm going to put a plenty of it. I don't believe in skimping on seasoning. All right. Now let me see if I can roll all that back over as I... Yeah, yeah. All right. Now we're going to picking and grilling the top of that bacon. Now, number one, y'all, if you use bacon on anything you cooking, it's going to be like 10 times better. It don't matter what it is, it'll be good. Because you can eat the bacon if the rest of it ain't no good. So, let's put a little more seasoning. We ain't short on seasoning today. Yeah, I have about destroyed that lid, y'all. All right. So, what I'm going to do, I notice I say that a lot. I ain't going to quit. I'm going to leave this partially open. And see, I ain't got enough to completely close that thing. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I can fold it together. All right, we're going to just leave it open like this. Put it on there and let that smoke and grill flavor get down to this. And I ain't got wood in there. I'm cooking with charcoal. I'm fixing to make some of my own oak and pecan charcoal. I got stuff out there. I got a barrel that I want to make it. I don't know that I can. I'm going to try. Let's put it that way. Probably more correct. All right. Yeah, that's good and hot. Right, so we're going to set this up on there, right up over them hot coals. Let that go to cooking. All right, now let's get these pork and chops over here. That cutting board done got greasy, slimy. Okay, let's put some picking and grilling on these. We eat them raw on one side, picking and grilling on the other. And I ain't putting nothing there on them couple because Brody said he didn't want nothing on his. I'm trying to make sure I season all four sides. Yeah, somebody didn't catch it, did they? Ah.
I got your here.
Back that up. Brody, you want some salt on your pieces of meat?
Yeah.
Well, let's put a little salt on it. I think that'll help it tremendously.
Did y'all do that?
You're going to have to go find some salt. Go,
Did you put
wait.
that on the grill?
It may be in the refrigerator. I may have put the salt in the refrigerator to keep it from getting wet.
Wait, did you put that stuff in there?
I did.
Well,
What stuff? Well, you was over in the mud hole. Look at your fingers. It didn't do you no good to wash them and you over there playing in the mud. I figure that's probably over there about where you pee-peed the other morning. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I bet it is. I'm going to slide that right down that box and put this in there. Y'all, I'm loving having this refrigerator right out here. I can just stick my stuff right in it. I got some pure vanilla extract. All right, I got some salt right here. I'm gonna put on Brody's pork and chop. Cause it's gonna taste terrible without nothing on it, I can promise you. Alright, I got one more thing. Let me get some, I gotta open this box right here up. Yeah, you can see a little bit. I keep forgetting about y'all sometimes, you know what I mean, Vern? I gotta make some room over here. Hang on. Y'all don't get all seasick on me. At least the roosters shut up for us, you know what I mean? Alright, let me get this stuff arranged. I gotta make some room for a snack. Like we need a snack, you know. Okay, hang on. Zumo's jalapeno boudin. My cousin was gonna bring me some up here. I noticed she showed up the other day. Didn't call me and say, hey, I got boudin. I guess forgot about me, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to drive all the way to Louisiana to get me some good boudin. This is the best we can do up here. Y'all boys from Louisiana, don't laugh at me. This is all we got. And it's pretty good. I can't complain about it, but now this has been in the refrigerator for several days. It was time for it to be cooked. I was gonna cook it the other day, we lit the grill and slam forgot about it. I know y'all don't do stuff like that, but I do. So anyway, we got all this stuff on there. Let me get Jonah wiped off. Good Lord. Now we ready to go wash this rag already. Boy, I go through a lot of rags out here. I noticed that too. All right, let's shut the lid. It's done down below 150 degrees, so. This Zumo, since 1908, it's pretty good. I have eaten it for a long time because, like I said, it's all we can get. I'm going to have to call some of them places. I've had several people tell me different places down there in South Louisiana to call that can and get them to ship me some. Crawfish boudin, I feel like that would be delicious. Right up my alley, too. So, I got one more little project I'm fixing to do. So, y'all stand right here. And let me throw this in the garbage. All right. Forgive my junk stuff in the background now. This is real life here. We ain't like in no studio. This is how the magic just has to happen. So I seen this thing on Instagram the other day. This old boy had him a Sprite, and they put a tea bag in it and let it sit in there and steep, brew, whatever you call it, in the refrigerator for a little while. And they say that it is delicious. I have never done this, so we finna find out. I said, you know what? I was in the store today getting me a Gatorade or something, and I said, you know what? I want to try that. So just regular old Sprite, lemon lime drink. Now I'm assuming, I guess I need to leave this where I can pull the bag back out. I don't know. I'm just gonna shove it off down in there. Has any of y'all ever heard of this? Anybody else seen this going around on the internet? I just happened across it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find out. I like sweet tea. Get that soaked down in there good. It ain't wanting to go down in there much. I'll get it shoved off down in there. There's air coming out of it now. All right, we're gonna put the top on this, and I'm gonna set it in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna forget about it till one of y'all reminds me that I put it in there in a little bit. So. Get all my paraphernalia cleaned up. I can't stand y'all this mess out here being a wreck. Because I don't like to come back and clean up everything later. I like to clean up a little as I go. So this is my pan. I'm going to put everything back in. I done got this nasty, but I'm going to lay it over that, keep the flies from getting in it. Because, man, we are eat up with flies around here. I hate a fly. I'd rather have the mosquitoes than I had the flies. So anyway, set all of this. All right. Now let's see, can we get, I got y'all way up in there. Hang on, let me make some adjustments here. Now, is that more gooder? See if I can find y'all on my iPad here. I got it hooked up to a charger because I've been busy and forgot to charge everything today. And I got Hey. I got my cord twisted up. I keep a cord in my camera bag. I've got a waterproof dry bag that I'm using for a camera bag because me in the swamp and in boats and such as that and destroying a DSLR camera, I figured out I needed a dry bag for my stuff. So, how are all of you tonight? I realize there has been a pile of comments. There's no way I'm going to probably try to go back and say hey to everybody because I'll miss somebody. But I'm glad to see all of you. Mr. Mike Reed, I appreciate you joining us tonight. Y'all go listen to Mike Reed preach. He does a good job. I see friends and family and all of you that I love so much. Thank y'all for joining in. Alicia asked, what is Michelle cooking up to go with it? I really don't know. We had talked about just doing a salad because I'm cooking so much stuff. We got boudin, we got pork chops, we got pork loin, and I had to cook the whole pork loin. And most of them pork chops is going to wind up in the refrigerator and be warmed back up and eat tomorrow. And they make good pork chop sandwiches. But I don't know exactly what all she's cooking to go with it. Probably going to do a salad, to be honest with you. Me and her both done about decided we're going to have to shed a few pounds. I noticed on that camera when I'm editing them videos, I have to look at me too. And this part of me right here is getting further out than the rest of me. And I ain't gonna quit eating, so I reckon I have to exercise more and watch what I'm eating. So I don't know. We'll figure all that out later in life, probably. Jerry Lee's in Baton Rouge. Dave's Smokehouse in Watson, Louisiana. Where is Watson in South Louisiana? I don't reckon for Watson, for some reason, is not familiar to me. I mean, obviously, I've heard of Baton Rouge. I heard a couple of different names of places down there, so I'm going to dig into it. I like boudin. I mean, I'd rather have boudin than our deer sausage here. Now, I have had some pretty good deer sausage. I'm just not a huge fan of the sausage in general. I'd rather have our Mosby sausage. I have never tried the Andula sausage from down in South Louisiana. And I favor some of the South Louisiana cooking. I like gumbos. I like crawfish etouffees. I like jambalaya. And when I cook it, I don't try to cook authentically, exactly like their southern recipes. I always put my Mississippi twist on it. I just use the idea, and I know a lot of people look at the way I cook and go, oh, that ain't how it's done. Well, I don't never do anything how it is done. If there is a how it is done, I'm going to do it different just about on purpose. Not out of meanness, just I like to do my own thing, and that's the best way to do things. Conecuh sausage is the best sausage, and you've never had Mosby sausage, is all I can tell you, because it beats Conecuh hands down. No question about it. I don't care where you're from, what you've eat. They just don't have Mosby's where you at. It's the only answer for that. North of Denham Springs. Well, I know where Denham Springs is. I have heard of that. Fayetteville, Alabama, Roll Tide. Jimmy Sullivan. Donna Bowen said, I'm a trendsetter. Yes. And I'm going back, y'all. I go back and read through comments, so I'm going backwards in them. So anyway, it's Mosby's, M-O-S-B-Y. Mosby sausage is made in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. And it's all over Mississippi. Now, I don't know where else has it. It is not far and wide. Because I got a buddy that I go see, Mr. Don Lanier, over in Alabama, and I took him a big pack of it, and he was just like y'all, swore by some of them other sausage brands. And I took him some Mosby sausage and has ruined him. And he called everywhere trying to find Mosby sausage, and they can't, nobody over there can get it. So Yeah, Mosby's is I don't know. They just have the right blend and right. I don't know. They got it figured out. It's Mr. Charlie Pickerel, Southwest Iron. So you've had some Tell me what you think about Mosby's sausage. You in Hattiesburg, I know you have eaten it. And I say you in Hattiesburg, you're 35. It's like me being from Philadelphia, Mississippi. I'm way out in the county, but Brody went in the house. He's on Brody been on quite of a tear. So I made his mama after he went in the house put him in the washing him because he sat right here and played in this mud hole and he's yeah, it's Mosby's is definitely good sausage, and Mosby's is why I struggle to eat a lot of deer sausage because the most people don't really put enough pork fat into deer sausage to make it not be dry. It's good if you pull it off the grill and put it in your mouth and don't leave it on the grill too long. And some of it when they add like cheddar cheese and stuff like that into that sausage is pretty good. I had some jalapeno and cheddar here not long ago. Somebody gave me, and it was really good. But it was only good if you eat it right there off the grill. If you took it in yonder and laid it down and come back in an hour and got a bite of it, it was dry, and it's because it just don't have enough fat. Deer's a lean meat, and you're a Mississippi transplant from Texas. Well, you down there close to where it's at. You definitely want to try it if you like sausage. Now, I mean, it's and we buy it up here by it's like $18 to $19 for a big and I don't know how many pounds the pack is. It's probably like I don't know 5 pounds or better, maybe something like that. It's a big pack. But they shut him down. The original owner passed away, and they shut it down for a while. They had to do some maintenance on the building. They had to clean it. It took new ownership, and they had to go through some inspections and pass all that kind of stuff. So they shut down for a while and redid some stuff in the plant, and then took off. Same product, they just a new owner. I think the workers and all that are exactly the same, but they shut down for about 2 or 3 months and gave everybody around here a big scare. But they back up and running again as far as I know. Huckleberry, he was so nasty when we got home, we had to wash his boots out. He'd done dripped off down in them rubber boots and filled them up with mud. Jeff, how are you tonight, brother? Jamie, I would assume they sell that in Jackson. I'm in Philadelphia, and we have it. I have seen it in other parts of the state, but I know my buddy in Alabama, and he's over in East Alabama. They can't get nobody over there can get it. He's got a couple of stores he's tried to get. But I really don't know where all they sell that sausage, but I am hugely a fan of it and will argue for it because it is that good. But now, in the reality of all of this, when you start talking about foods, everybody has a different taste and everybody likes something different. And 9 times out of 10, whatever you grew up eating or started eating is going to be what you favor. So to sit here and tell you that everybody's going to like Mosby sausage better than Conecuh is would be a lie. But I mean, in my opinion, I go at things and try stuff, and I don't mind, like new seasoning or new this, and I'll try it. But hey, that's like that Camp Dog seasoning. I grew up on Tony Satchery's. Dwayne sent me that Camp Dog, and I love it. He said it's a little spicy for me, but I like spice, so naturally I kind of took to it. So to sit here and tell all of you that every one of you is gonna like Mosby's better, is that I'm not that naive. Some of you is gonna stick to what you like, and that don't mean that one's really better than the other, but that's just the way the ball rolls. I don't think there's a place you can order it online, Huckleberry, because if you had, my buddy Don would have ordered some. He's been after me to bring him some, and I hadn't made a trip back over there. It's been over a year since he's had any. I think they came over here for something, and he got a hold to some, maybe one of those. Yes, Jerome, those are sawtooth oaks down there above the garden. I brought those two plants from a job I was at doing metal roofing. I picked up acorns in a man's yard, brought them home and stuck them in a flower pot and sprouted them, and they sprout really easy here. I'll just take a flower pot with some potting soil in it, and I just poke them down in it, and they'll all pop up, and then I keep them alive in that pot for a year or so. And I had one come up the other day in my front flower bed right against the porch, and it was up about this tall, and we was repine straw, and I pulled it out, and I've got it growing in a tomato pot down here by my chicken pen, so I've got a third one. Me and Brody planted 4 or 5 more in my front yard, and only about 3 of them have survived. Around here, Tennessee Smokey, good to see you, my brother. We struggle getting trees live. I have planted I don't know how many weeping willows. I love weeping willow trees, and I plant them in the lower parts of my front yard because they need more wetter feet, and the roots soak a lot of moisture up, and more so than the black willows that I have growing up here, I guess, because that one dies every year. And finally, I just cut one off level with the ground because I had pruned all the dead out of it last year. Well, it got dry last fall, and it finished dying, and this year it never put back out. The one on the other side of my drive is very small, and it's put back out most of it. So trees they struggle to grow here at times. Some of them don't survive. There's a little yellow tractor out here in the background. I don't know if y'all can see it. I mean, it's a green tractor. Yeah, you can see it right there. See that little tractor right there? That little tractor plays havoc on little small trees. It's claimed 2 or 3, I think. I know 2 it has claimed. And then that there's a lawnmower of the same color rides around here has claimed 1 or 2. So I ain't gonna try to sit here and play innocent of all charges. It's just how it is, you know. The best thing you can do is drive a metal fence post down beside them, and that way when you do run over one, you remember you run over it. You know, it's still gone, but at least you remember running over it. It ain't like, well, yeah, I thought there was a tree there. I don't know. Oh, Lord. Y'all do stuff like that. Mike Culpepper, did you help make some Mosby sausage? Oh, it's good. Southwest Iron, you let us know what you think about it, because I would like honest opinions on what other people think about it, because everybody that I have like turned onto it and been like, hey, this is good, you ought to try it if you like sausage, has liked it. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and say that everybody says it's better than everything else, but it is good sausage. So let me know what you think about it. Uncle Sasquatch, I seen you earlier. I don't know if I mentioned, but good to see you tonight, brother. The deer keep wiping trees out. We don't have a lot of trouble with the deer eating trees, but now the deer's number one thing here is my peas. I don't know. We don't have a lot of trouble with the deer eating much else. Like the deer don't mess with my corn. The deer come in and wipe out peas, and that's about it. We have planted turnip greens for them down there, and they won't hardly eat the turnip greens. They nibbled around them this year because they really wasn't a lot else. It was so dry last fall that the deer didn't have a lot else to eat. So they came up here and was eating turnip greens in the fall that my dad planted for the deer. But they won't eat a lot of other stuff. I guess they got too much to eat here. But they will flat come in here and just wipe a pea patch out. And it don't take but 2 or 3 deer. You wake up in the morning and think, man, we had a herd of them. And you come out there the next night with a flashlight and shine, and there's a mama and a little one out there, and they just go down the road and work them over. So now the thing that gets my corn is the squirrels. The squirrels and the birds. I have watched these blue jays and different other various birds just shuck it down. You think, man, the squirrels is doing all of it, but the squirrels is doing a lot of it, but the birds shuck it down pretty good and eat it. And so we fight some pests. The deer ain't my number one problem. Right now, Michelle's mad at the birds because they wiping out my peaches. Peaches ain't near about ripe, and they out there just eating them up. So you have to plant a pile of something if you want a little of it. That way you got enough for you and the birds. Now, hopefully we got plums this year. We'll see, though. Matthew Graves asked, have you been catching any spring catfish yet? We have done a little bit of limb lining. We are going Monday. We've got camping spots reserved at Pickinsville on the Tom Bigby River. Me and Brody and Marie Laveau are going to Tom Bigby, and me and Brody's gonna do jug lines. I'm not taking any of my long lines. They just too much work for me and Brody. I don't have anybody else to help me with them. I could probably manage it by myself. It's just a little more difficult, and I don't want to attempt it with Brody in there asking questions, and Brody don't just sit down and mind like he ought to, typical little boy. He wants to be Mr. Helper, and I don't want him to get hurt in that boat. If a line hooked him, grabbed him, you see all the stuff that could go wrong. So we're going to make him a hook, and we're going to do jug lines. And I've got about 30-something of them made up. We're going to do some pool noodles, and then I've got a bunch of just small Gatorade bottles, and we're going to put a glow stick in them. So we're going to have us a good time, and we'll be filming all of it next Monday and Tuesday. So they could be a lag in videos while we're up there. I don't know how the service is. I may can film up some stuff and have it loaded and ready to just turn on. We'll see how it plays out. But if there is, I'm trying not to just put out videos to be putting out videos. If it ain't somewhat interesting, entertaining, worth watching, I don't want to be guilty of just throwing stuff together. That ain't what I want to do here. My biggest goal, I guess, right now is to try to create content for people to watch that they can sit back and say, hey, this is good, clean content. This is what I want to watch. And because that is the biggest issue right now, I think, with most people watching YouTube. It's not about you have the greatest channel but people are sick and tired of Hollywood TV. These days, I scroll through it, and I don't never see nothing I want to watch. Well, I was looking for something for Brody to watch. We was looking for a cartoon or something, and I decided I was just going to scroll through on the Roku. And the movies that come across the screen, there was nothing that I was remotely interested in. So, and sure wasn't going to watch with him. So anyway, we Tony, the jug fishing day or night is debatable. Late in the evening is probably the most ideal time. Most of the time, catfish stay deep in the heat of the day and come up late in the evening and start feeding on bugs and different things and whatever's in the water, bait fish, whatever else, along the shallows around the edges of those holes. But now we will be back in some backwater lakes or the old dead river runs, like they canaled up by and like cut off loops out of the river and basically straightened it out. So those oxbows or whatever they are, it's not really an oxbow, I don't think. I think an oxbow is like cut off. But they're just the old river runs, and you can go out in them, and that's the ideal place to, and that's what we're doing. And there's some like bayous or whatever you want to call them. It's just backwater off the river. And we'll get up in there and run most of our jug lines, because if you put them in their main river channel, there ain't a lot of current to take them by, but the barges and stuff will run over them. If you get them scattered all the way across the river and then a big old barge comes through, man, they'll just run over all your stuff. And, they're not going to go through there dodging jugs. I wouldn't either if I was a barge towboat captain. So, anyway, we're going to go up there and do that and have a good time. And Uncle Sasquatch, I told Michelle this morning, I said, I'm taking Roscoe with me. I'm not leaving him here. So, Yeah, I'm taking Roscoe to Tom Bigby, and I don't know how he's going to do. I can leave him in the camper for the most part. He rides in the boat well, but he can't be loose at the campground. So I'll have to take something, a rope, chain, string. It don't take a lot to hold old Roscoe. He won't try to fight and break stuff. If he realizes he's hooked, he'll sit there, but he'll sit there and whimper and whine the whole time. But if he's right there by us, it won't be a huge deal. And I don't know, we'll just have to figure it out. But I'm taking him, yes. I can't go off and leave my buddy. That's one of the reasons I want to go to a campground. And this is like a vacation to me. I had much rather go up there and sit there on the river at the campground for 2 or 3 days and do what I want to do and fish and all that than I had to go off on some big excursion with a bunch of folks. I don't know. Tennessee Smoky, them crappie is fine, ain't they, when they fried it right. Homestead Princess, my wife's channel, she does some cooking and painting pottery and just life from the woman's point of view. I don't really know. It's just homestead living, inside stuff, housewife type stuff. But now she's not just a housewife. She is Southern Mud Pottery, really. I just make the pottery. She does all the painting and handling the business of it. So it is Southern Mud Pottery on the homestead. And I link our website to our pottery that we sell. Our pottery is in a lot of stores, North Mississippi, West Tennessee. We've got one store, I think, in Alabama, and there's one on the Gulf Coast down at Gulfport, and then I think we have one in, there's a little town, Southwest Mississippi, it's Southwest Vendors, and it's in, what is the name of that little town? Anyway, it'll come to me after a while. Ryan Forrester, how are you? Perryville, Arkansas. Brookhaven. Homestead Princess, I have got to pull your channel up and look at it. I have failed to do that, but I will be honest with you. I struggle to watch much of anything here lately. The garden has got me prepping for fishing and going fishing and cooking and filming and editing videos, and I really, and me and Brody have been watching Scooby-Doo. Brody been on a Scooby-Doo kick, and I used to love Scooby-Doo in my younger days, my teenage years. One of the few cartoons that I really liked. I loved Looney Tunes, but I loved Scooby-Doo. So we have went back and I've introduced Brody to all the Scooby-Doo movies, like The Witch's Ghost and Zombie Island and all those. And it's just, I like Scooby-Doo. So we've been watching them lately. But I don't get to watch a lot of YouTube. Now we pull up some and watch it on the TV in there when we lay down at night. And Michelle's always watching some of her homestead and channels. There's several channels that she follows. I don't care nothing about. Now we together watch Celebrating Appalachia, and then there's a few other channels that I pick up videos along on, and I try to support. You know, like the people like Uncle Sasquatch and Mike Reed and those that have supported me since I first started this. I try to watch their videos, and there's a lot of times that I miss some of their stuff because I get busy doing life, and so me picking up and watching a whole lot is hard for me to do, and I had rather watch YouTube than anything else. And then there's times when I can get out there and I'm in a role making pottery, I'll put YouTube videos up, and I tend to select the longer videos, like 45 minute to hour long videos, because my hands is nasty with clay and I ain't over there selecting videos. But yeah, Uncle Sasquatch, I like old Foghorn Leghorn. He is by far my favorite one, and I love to watch him. Donnie Laws, I have not. I have not. From East Tennessee. Mm-mm. Jimmy Solomon, I hadn't had any that I know of now. So they making good catfish bait? Hey, never fear. When they say that we're going to have an invasion of something in the South, we find a way to benefit from it and turn a curse what everybody else is thinking doom and gloom. And we like, look at all this bait we got. So that is ideal, Jimmy. That tickles me. You don't know how that thrills me. If we've had them, one thing I mow a lot and clean up a lot. So I did see one big old grasshopper the other day. I don't know if that's what it was or not. I didn't slow down. But I did try to dodge it. Like, it flew over there, and I don't know. My heart's done got where I don't just kill stuff to be killed. It's like me and Brody seeing that big old chicken snake in the swamp. I left that joker laying there and went on. He wasn't bothering a thing. Probably eating my squirrels up, but, you know, I mean. Tyler Scales, he's got his own religion, said, do I believe one Bible translation is better than the other? Yes and no. I'm going to lean towards the King James Version because it is the most up-to-date, accurate version that we have. To say that other versions are wrong, no, I'm not going to say that. Yes, there's some verses left out. I don't know if they were left out intentionally to weaken the message. I'm not going to get into all that debate. Everybody can have an opinion and everybody can be right, you know, in their own mind at least. So I like it because I like older literature. I like William Shakespeare. I like Robert Frost. I like, you know, writers like, what's his name? Oh, Lord, Charles Dickens, you know, Edgar Allan Poe, all this stuff I enjoy. So I like the Old English the way that this is written. I have been reading the New King James Version and some in the ESV version just to see if I got a different perspective, notice something that maybe I had missed because of the way it was written. But if I'm going to preach and teach, it's going to be out of King James. And the biggest reason is because that is what most people are going to have. And there's some people that go as far as say, it's wrong. These other translations, that's wrong. I wouldn't read that. I wouldn't, you know. And if you feel that way, don't read it. I'm not going to encourage you to go get something you got gut feelings against. I have not found enough. I can find the true message in every one of them. So to say things maybe written in a little way to influence your belief, it's possible. I don't know. I hadn't read enough of the other translations to condemn them, but I have heard other people's arguments. So I would lean towards King James Version, but here's my other point. If you struggle to understand King James Version and it is hindering you from reading the Bible, then by all means pick up another translation like the New King James Version or the ESV or something and read it to see if it, because anything that you can, hey, I can read this is better than you being committed to King James and then saying, well, I ain't going to read it because I don't understand it, because you need to read something. Then the King James has been translated from what it was originally written in, so I feel like every time the Bible is rewritten, something gets lost, a little bit of feel, maybe not a whole lot. So I'm a King James guy. I'm not totally against other translations. That kind of puts it in a nutshell. Greetings from the top of Mississippi. Good to see you tonight, J.D. Lamont. Miss Lippy. Joe Vogue. I'm reading off stuff. And that, Diana, that is very true. I could like the old literature because I like the King James Version. That could be a possibility. Mike Culpepper, we are definitely going to load this boat up for Tom Bigby with some extra goodies. We're going to have us a Yogi Bear picnic basket in there. It might be in the form of a Yeti cooler full of stuff, but we're gonna take the Set Power cooler, and that's going to be our main refrigerator, because the refrigerator in my camper still don't work. Never fixed it, never went and bought another one. Just, you don't think about that kind of stuff until you're ready to use it, and you go, man, I wish I'd have fixed that. I've had a year to do it and hadn't done it. The Blue Letter Bible. I've heard of the Blue Letter Bible. I have not read one. Jason McAllister, I have not tried self-heal tea. I have made some salve out of self-heal, as it is good for topical stuff, but I have not made a tea and drank it. I don't know why I hadn't, and it is in full bloom here in Mississippi, so there is self-heal right here in my yard. I have transplanted some into this yard to get it spreading. And y'all, I will tell y'all, I see you mention you breaking down words and different things, and I when I first started preaching, I had commentaries. I was buying religious books, and I was all excited about, I want to learn all this. And the more I read other stuff, and the more I dug in and broke down an original Hebrew and there's some education to be had. The thing that I found, and this is my personal experience with this, okay? So take that for what it's worth. The more I dug into the Bible as far as trying to break it down and study it and understanding, and don't take this wrong, I'm not against studying the Word of God. The Bible says study to show thyself approved, okay? So that's that in stone. And before I get into that, we got to check on our pork chops. They probably need flipping. I found that as I broke down and really dug into it, that I lost some feeling, spirit. In other words, if I try to lean on my own understanding, the Spirit don't talk to me as much, and it's not as real. I have watched a lot of guys go to Bible college and study the Scripture and study the Word, and oh man, them right there looking good, y'all. Oh Lord. And they lose some of the anointing. And I think it's because somewhere they have learned to dig into their own knowledge and their own wisdom and their own understanding, when the Bible says lean not unto your own understanding. And they've tried to break down the Bible in a way of how I understand it and what I think this word means, and the Bible is more of a teaching. I'm going to leave that open just a little bit for you to get the idea of what is being taught. In other words, and I have said this several times, people take like the red letters of Jesus and they break down what Jesus said this in Matthew whatever or in John whatever, and they dissect this phrase that Jesus said. Well, my problem with that is it's already been interpreted one time when it was written. So they heard Jesus say something, and then they wrote down what he said, and they lost a little bit of what exactly was said. And the reason I say that is if it was precise to what Jesus actually said, all four Gospels would be the exact same words in red, and they're not. So that tells me that there has been some paraphrasing, So with that right there in mind, you cannot take like red letter and dissect these words to know what that really is talking about. You've got to back up and read all four of them and say, well, what I took from all four, the relative meaning, this is it. And that's how you have to understand what is there. And I think people are missing that. I think they trying to overthink. And that's kind of my whole point. Don't overthink the Bible. Read it and let God speak to you. And that's why I quit buying religious books. I said, you know what? I don't need to read any more anybody else's opinion. I need to read the Bible and let that be it, and let it talk to me, and let God speak to me. And that's kind of my stance on it now. Nikki, this is one of my favorite shirts. I've got one more, the more red looking one that I wear some is, but you know, if I had a market for these and I need one with the Spirit of the Outdoors logo right in the middle of it. That's what we need. And I can make that happen. I've got a machine in there to press the vinyl on it, and I just hadn't tried to do it. So anyway, I'm going to get off the religious for a little while. We may pick it back up toward the end of the segment, and we're going to talk about some... Michelle said, yeah, don't forget the pork chops. Oh, Lord. Mickey and Angie, I got to get that in the mail, hopefully in the morning. And y'all, I'm going to be making some more knives as our pottery. We are somewhat getting caught up. Like for the first time in like 4 years, I have been able to get my stuff done, and we're sort of caught up on orders that can change like that. All it takes is for Michelle's phone to go ding like a couple of times, and we can be behind. So what that means is I may have a little bit of free time when we get back from Tom Bigby to make some knives. And I want to make, between me planting the garden and harvest time, I have a little bit of time, which I'll be working and sticking some tomatoes. And I mean, it won't be a lot of free time, but I'm going to try to make more knives this summer. I told everybody, I was like, this past winter, I'm going to make knives. Well, it never happened. I never got time to make them. So I'm going to try to make some in the next few months because, number one, I could use the extra money. I've got some things I am wanting to buy that I want to make extra money to buy them with and not use our bill money to do it. And one of them is the cooker for this back porch. I've got all the stuff to build my cooker I want. I want to buy another one of those basket fryers because the one I had over here was my brother's, and I could go get it. It's over there at the cabin, but when we have a eating over there, sometimes we need both of them frying stuff. So I got to buy one of them, and I need to make some extra stuff. Laser Addict, you may have a package headed your way. You might want to keep your eye on the mailbox. Trade them for chickens. Nikki, I'm still holding 2 of your chickens over here. I'm waiting on you to come get them and a folding chair. And I told Michelle today, I said, we should have loaded that stuff up and went by there. But we was filling up gas bottles. We emptied one on the Blackstone yesterday when Michelle was cooking. So I had to go refill 2 bottles, and we went and run some errands.
Hey, everybody.
I can turn that a little bit that way.
I got my pajamas on already. That's why I'm not getting on the live. It's I like to put my pajamas on at night. I did want to find out how long you think food's gonna be.
I don't know. Open it up, look at it. The pork chop's not long. They cooked and dark on one side. They're not burnt.
I'm not gonna fix the salad.
But they need to cook a little while on that side and darken it up, and the pork chops won't like, but they thick. But now that when I wrapped up in that tinfoil could be a little while, I reckon. I don't know. I didn't wrap it completely up. Nikki said she was waving. You couldn't see her.
Oh.
CJ, I'll try to get one made. I have got a couple of blanks that I have not cut the shape in, but when I cut my Jonah knives out, the top and the bottom leaves me 2 patch knives, and I've been laying them to the side as I was making all these Jonah knives. But I need to make several more Jonah knives because they're, like I said, I could use the money, but I'm just, it takes me a while to make them, and I've been busy. And I keep so much. I got too many projects going on, and this back porch got me last year. Is why I didn't ever make it happen. I don't think, but. If it fits, the springtime has went by. I am just now getting to Tom Bigby. I was going in February. I was going up there to crappie fish, just gonna stay and hang out. And y'all, I don't know what happened. I just could not make. Every time I turn around, there was something going on. The weekends that I had some extra money and had time to go, there was some event going. Well, we can't go this day, or so I don't know. And then, you know, I mean, there's stuff like funerals and this, that, and the other arises that you have no, you got to be a part of. You ain't got no choice, and that can't be avoided. Miss Cindy, yeah, them PJs. I'm usually though I wait and get my shower late, and I'll tell you why. I stay in my blue jeans and stuff till I'm ready to about go to bed. And I like to get my shower right before I go to bed if I can, because like last night I had done come in after me and Brody got through. We cleaned the griddle. I come out here and fried it, and I did not film frying it because I had done run my phone completely dead and the GoPro's down filming stuff yesterday. So I come out here and just cooked, and then when I got through, I was like, okay, I got to have a bath because I'm still swamp nasty. And I went in there and got a bath. Well, I had put Roxanne on the chain. I have to chain her up when I'm leaving on the buggy because she will leave and follow the buggy, and you can't take her to the swamps. If you're trying to fish, she's going to get in the water in front of you, and you run all of it. So you just can't take her to the swamp, not fishing. So I had her chained up. Well, when I got in, I had forgot about her. She said, where's Roxanne? So let me go get Roxanne off the chain. So I go down there and get her. Well, then I wind up in the shed taking Brody's reel apart, the Zebco that, I did not throw the Zebco reel away. I know everybody's worried to death that I threw that Zebco reel in the garbage. I am not a fan of Zebco reels. I've tried to like them. I want to like them, y'all. They're the ideal thing for Brody. To mash the button, throw it. Because griddle fishing, the little one that Mr. Ken got him, it's ideal for us going brim fishing and all that. And we finna put it to good use. But griddle fishing, you got to have a little heavier tackle. I mean, they fight. Well, every time I have ever carried a Zebco 33 with me, I have had problems. And this time the line got up in under the reel, and I don't know if it was the way Brody was reeling it, flopping it back. I don't know. But it got all in there and mangled up, and we couldn't even lost the fish, and I was ready to throw it in the trash. But I'm down there in my pajamas working on a reel and got, reel grease and stuff all over my fingers. Well, I wipe that on my britches, I don't. Anyway, that's why I had to wait in my pajamas. Diana Bowen, yes, that patch knife sold earlier today. Somebody on here said they got it. Jimmy Potts, how are you? I'm going back reading through. Appalachian Explorers, let's get this Sprite out and see what it looks like. This Zumo's hot sausage is. Woo, I got me a piece of that boudin. Oh, y'all. I'm going to have to lay that down on something. It's hot. Brody's coming out here. He'll get on it and mash it. All right, look. Watch back now. Y'all know how hard it was for me not to shake this. I don't know why I wanted to shake it so bad. But look, it has colored that now. And the guy I saw do this, y'all, he put 2 tea bags in his, but now I couldn't see where 1 tea bag wasn't enough. I'm going to just leave it in there. Tastes like Sprite with a little hint of tea. It's good, but it ain't like, you see all these people do it and they go like, wow, oh my. It's all right. We'll let Michelle try it in a minute. Michelle, come here. See what she thinks about it. Mm-hmm. Uncle Sasquatch, I agree with you. I have dunked them in the water, but this one, it was beyond dunking in the water. Taste of this Sprite and tell them what you think about it.
I'm scared too.
That's too hot to eat. Rice, go get. That ain't yours.
He's fixing to give a bite.
I'm sure Uncle Sasquatch wants to see you.
Ugh.
You don't like it? Brody, you taste it. You like it?
No.
Okay.
Is that boudin?
Yeah, but it's so hot I can't hold it, eat it, or nothing.
Is it still on the grill?
Yeah, it needs to be got off. I tell you what, we'll lay it on them pieces of cedar. Let me get this boudin off, y'all, before we. Yeah, Brody didn't want to try it. It ain't bad.
I'll get a plate.
Let me turn y'all around. Y'all can watch.
Stepped on that snake right there.
Here, I can lay them on this, Michelle. These are clean.
Are you sure?
Yeah, cutting board.
He stepped
Basically.
on that snake right there.
The only problem is they ain't got no sides that'll roll off. Brody, settle down. Settle down.
Settle down. You done had a bath and don't need to get nasty.
All right, watch back. Don't knock this out of my hand, please, please, please. Okay, I covered that pan up. See the flies hung to it good. That's why I covered it up.
Done.
You want to get these
Y'all
off?
have a hard time keeping Brody clean.
Yeah, he can't come outside. All right, look, Michelle. These three over here, no seasoning. Brody didn't want that. I put some salt on one side. So there he is, okay?
Okay.
I want to do mine.
Come on, they're not ready yet.
Yeah, these are. I think they are
Well,
ready.
let me get something to put them on.
You gonna put them in this pan or no?
What pan? Is there something in there?
No, I just emptied the stuff out and.
I just get.
Okay, get what you want.
I'm going to do mine. Mine going?
Yeah,
Yeah.
come in. There's your three right here.
Them?
Yeah, they ain't got no seasoning on them.
Okay.
And that little piece too. But it is hot. Let's get it and lay it right over here. You can eat it in a minute. All right. I'll let you get yours off, put them on top. Let go of my arm before you fall. Now, Michelle, you check one of them thicker ones and make sure that it's done to your satisfaction. All right, I'm gonna let me show these. Here, hold that. I'm gonna let you get yours off. I know y'all want to see these pork chops. Look at there. Thick cut pork chops, y'all. Whoo-wee. All right, get yours off, little buddy. And set it up here on this plate. You need me to do it? Let me help you. There.
I'll do the next one.
Here. All right.
All right, come on, let's go in, man. You just gonna go in and eat.
Thank you, Mr. Doobie Doo.
Come on this way. Not through there. You're tearing the thing up.
Ooh.
You go through the middle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's gonna be good right there. Hey, you got a piece of meat laying right here. Roscoe will be helped himself to that. You can carry it on in with you if you want to.
You don't want another piece?
Yeah, leave me one piece there, that and right there.
Huh? They're really hot.
The one I said, right, that one is one that she dropped and rolled all over the table. Don't bother me.
Hot.
Is there any hope of other coffee get in there in a little bit?
Yeah.
This is hot, like not spicy. You know that rice gets hot in there and squirts out. Oh, so Tell the Sprite. We took a tea bag, Lipton tea bag. Actually, this is great value tea, and put it in the Sprite. And everybody was talking about it on the internet how wonderful that was. It ain't bad. It is like carbonated tea now. Is because you know you put lemon in your tea sometimes at the store. It's all right. I mean, it ain't bad. It's good, but it ain't like that's the greatest thing I ever drank. Good, you know what I mean? It's like carbonated tea. Mmm. Well, well, well. Tommy, what are you doing late again? We're gonna start dunning you for being late. When you die, we're gonna have to postpone your funeral for at least 2 or 3 hours. Just make sure you get there. Mm. I don't know if I'd suggest trying it with Diet Mountain Dew. But you suit yourself. The best way for you to do it's the way you want to do it. So you put it in Diet Mountain Dew, that's what you want. If it fits, it makes. They hadn't had sweet tea like I make it. My sweet tea, you can stand a spoon up in it. I'm gonna tell you, that boudin about like that Uncle Versi, that pie he had. I don't know what Arnold Palmer is, Ken. I really don't. I mean, I can drink this, y'all. It ain't no. I don't like that string dangling out of there. Let's see if we can extract this tea bag right here without making a huge mess. I figured though I'd pull a string out of it. What I was really worried about is tearing the top half off, and that's what's gonna happen. Just leave it in there. I'm gonna pull the paper off and drop the string and all down in there. I didn't want to tear that tea bag open and them tea leaves be all in it. Now I'd have to pour it out then. So anyway, we can say we did it. It's like that beaver that my wife's grandpa cooked one time years and years ago. He was a big trapper. Nobody around here had ever eaten no beaver or nothing like that. And he decided he liked to trap. He was going to try one, and he didn't know how to cook. I don't know what they done to cook it, but he had told them that he was going to cook a beaver, and they asked him later, said, Lawrence, said, well, how was that beaver you cooked? He said, it was all right. I don't want no more. So anyway, no, Jason, I wouldn't go waste no tea bag on it. I had to try it, and I figured, hey, I'll try it here on camera and let you all know if it was worth doing or not. And it's okay. I mean, if you want carbonated tea, have at it. There you go. That's about what it amounts to. Brody's letting bugs in the house. So anyway, ran out of kerosene, got a kerosene internet connection. Well, you fixing to have to start creating, you have to get you one of them gasifiers to run it. Now, what are you tiptoeing around over there doing, little feller? Go over yonder. Don't get over here on camera and do it. You done that one time like you got me in trouble. Lord, what am I going to do with this boy, y'all? So. We got all the pork chops off the grill. I got to babysit this pork loin for a little while. I'm going to let it cook a little bit. And I don't know. I looked at it. It's got to be done. I may open that thing back up and just let it get some smoke to it. I don't know. It ain't, which with the charcoal, we got, that is Kingsford charcoal on there, the lump charcoal. I say lump. Is lump the processed or the lump is the regular raw, ain't it? Anyway, it is old processed charcoal. The Ford Motor Company. Ain't they the one, ain't Henry Ford the one that started charcoal? Briquettes, there you go. That's what I'm using. I am going to make me some charcoal. I have got a 55-gallon barrel down there that I salvaged that had burnt motor oil in it. And I've got one of those smaller, they're oil cans. They're like 15, maybe 20 gallon. I don't know what they are. I can't remember, but they're the little red oil drums that the lid goes on and falls down. Well, I don't have the lid to it, so I'm going to take a center block and set it there, one of these right here, and set that little red barrel on it and fill it up with what I'm going to make charcoal out of, and then I'm going to turn the 55-gallon barrel upside down on top of that, and then turn all of it back right side up, and that way my charcoal is contained inside the little barrel. Then I'm going to fill limbs and sticks and all that in there and build a fire on top of it and let it burn, and see how that does about making me charcoal. I've seen somebody do it that way. It may be 30-gallon, Randall. I know they're not as big as a 55. They're a little less than half, so I say a little less. They're somewhere. But I'm going to do that. I think that is the simplest way for me to make charcoal, so I'm probably going to film doing it one day, and we'll see how it works. I think I saw Rough Cut Homestead, maybe Duke over there do it, or somebody else I saw, and I thought, well, I've got all that stuff to do that with. I was going to build me one of those boxes that I could, like, you lay the barrel up endways and you pack it full of wood, and then you could run a pipe out of the top back down and under it and drill holes in it. Well, once it started producing gas, it would fire up and help cook itself. But I don't know. I have made black powder. I've got all the stuff down there to make black powder with. And I've got willow saved from a willow tree that I cut down just to make black powder with. And I don't know. I never got around to my milling deal that I had rigged up didn't work real good, and then my process that I used didn't come out like I wanted it, and one thing to another. And I have not made. I made one batch, and it will shoot, and it works okay in the pistol, but I was scared to put it in my rifle. It just burned a little slower, but I don't know. I have made lye, but not soap. I made lye to dehair my deer hides, and that's another thing. I got several hides that I need to get out and tan here sometime. I've got an otter that's on a board I need to tan, but I've got several deer hides in the freezer, and I made my own lye, hardwood ash lye to dehair them. Basically, I just put the hardwood ashes in the water and let them sit for about a week, and then I used that to dip I just threw the hide down in it, and it had wood ash, everything all over it. And then when I pulled them out of there, I washed it off in water and then dehaired it, and that's. Algernon, we have got bullfrogs right back here I can hear tonight. I don't know if y'all can hear them on the camera or not, but they're faint. They're way back there. But I did want to try to perfect my my black powder. I don't know that I wanted to make my own black powder just for the sake of, hey, I made it. I'm gonna get my other boudin. And Brody left his little chunk of pork chop. I might as well eat it. Mm-hmm. Would have been real good with some seasoning on it. Well, I'm gonna burn the hair off my tongue with this. What's dangerous about this is you bite into that hot sausage and that rice, it'll split on the side, and that rice will get you unexpected where you ain't prepared, you know. Oh, it done cooled down. It's just right now. Jalapeno boudin. Well, what are y'all doing tonight? Yeah, Tommy, I ain't heard no whippoorwills. I got a neighbor over here that said he's got several that he said they get to tearing it up in the evening. And he don't live a half a mile from me. I ain't heard one over here in years. And I got every kind of bird there is around out here. The reason I know is they eating up my peaches and my plums and my blueberries. Maria, I'll be honest with you. You ask what proportion, I don't do stuff to an exact science. I probably should. I just don't. I usually put a couple of scoops of ashes off in this container that I have. And y'all have seen it in videos. It's a blue tub about this long and about that wide and about that tall. It's probably 20 gallons, maybe 25. I don't know. But I'll put this much ashes in the bottom of it. Usually what I do is I'll clean my heater out down yonder that I've been burning hardwood in. And I'll take a bucket, like one of these little metal 1 gallon buckets, and dump that in there, and then I'll fill it over half full of water. So, but now to sit here and tell you the exact ratio, I really can't. And then when it gets done, I just throw the hide in there with the ashes. And the reason is, some people say, oh, it'll stain your hide. I've never found that to be true. I guess it has to do with your process, but once I dehair it and flesh it good again and get all the membrane and everything off the hide, I take my hide and try to put it in a creek or a pond or water and wash it, because you've got to get as much of that hide glue and stuff out as you can to be successful tanning it. Otherwise, you got to really tan it, and do them brains a couple of times to make it take. So the more stuff you've got out of it, the better off you are. And it took me a long time to learn that. So in that rinsing process, any of the hardwood ash stains has always come out for me. And that may just be my... Down to that owl flew right up there beside us. Uncle Sasquatch, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that channel. I watch some of these big channels. I get concerned about me. I'll get on some of these other comments in a minute, but there's several of these big channels. It's like everybody loves them. Like Stale Cracker. Y'all familiar with Stale Cracker? I can't watch him. For the life of me, I can't. I can't tolerate it. Cooking with Cajun is another one. I like the guy. I like his way of doing it, but he's cusses and just belligerent about it, and that kind of attitude I can't tolerate. I don't want. I can't get through it. And I'm like this, Uncle Sasquatch, with this guy at Everything Black Powder. I can't get into watching him. I like what he's doing. It's just like cooking with Cajun. I like what he's doing and his method of cooking, and I think he is a good cook. I don't like his attitude, his personality. And they have huge channels. I mean, they're like huge. And that seems to be what everybody likes. And I don't know. I guess I'm different. I walk to the beat of my own drum. I don't want them to change. I ain't gonna get on their channel and tell them how they ought to change or how sorry. I mean, they do what they want to, but I can't. I just can't get into them. And this guy from Everything Black Powder, he ain't as bad. I can watch more of his videos than I can't. Like Stale Cracker, I can't get through a half of one of his reels. And I'm like, this dude's got 4 million people nearly watching. I don't get it. Do y'all watch him? I mean, if you like him, watch him all you want to. I ain't trying to steer you away from him, because, I mean, my opinion ain't going to really affect him, and I don't want to affect him. But I don't know, and all that carrying on and excitement, just jumping around and hollering and banging, and I mean, they don't nobody really act like that. That's all put on, and I don't know, I don't wish nothing bad for none of them. I don't wish, hey, I wish everybody quit watching them. I want you to watch who you like to watch. I don't want to change it, but it just, I don't know, it don't do it for me. I like real. I like people that what they say, that's how they really live their life. Whatever I see on their channel, when I meet them in person, I expect them to be the same. Because that's how it is here. If I walk up on you and shake your hand and we talk, it's going to be just like what you see right now. I ain't putting the mood I'm in when I'm filming, or if I'm stressed and got stuff on my mind. I mean, because it's real. We all have mood swings, and we all, I wish I was on top of the world and laughing every day. And, some days there's things that you stressed out about, and it's like that for you. And see, Jason, I don't do characters. I don't know. Anyway. Uncle Sasquatch, me and you, we'd get along fine, my friend. I like somebody, even if I don't agree with you, that you tell me what's on your mind and you tell me what you think. I'll still love you and watch you and go on, And I'm like Uncle Sasquatch. If I don't like something, I'm not going to thumbs down it or tell them how sorry they are. I mean, if I don't like it, I don't watch it, I turn it off, and that's what I do. The only reason I mention them by name tonight is because, honestly, I am curious as why there is so many people that like that. I mean, I'm not going to go act like that just to get views. I think that's what these people do. And they stage stuff to try to see how many views they get. And I want a bunch of people to watch my channel and enjoy it, but I want people to like me for me, And I think that's what I have here. Obviously, they wouldn't be here if they wouldn't. But, I don't want to have to jump around and act like a monkey in a barrel to get views. I do like Peter from Woodland Escape. Now, I hadn't watched a lot of his stuff lately, Randall, but I think he is an excellent guy. And sometimes he gets too deep into history, and he is, I think, understands it and probably does a really good job of telling. Some things he has talked about I've been really interested in, but he gets so deep in it, sometimes I get disinterested, I guess you would say. And it probably has to do with the topic or my mood again there. But he is a good guy, and I think what he's doing is authentic. Now, he goes a little overboard in his, like, building this big fort thing. I'm like, is that, but I realize why he's doing it. I ain't against it, but he does a good job filming, or somebody there does, and they make a good video. He is fun to watch, but I think he strikes me as a person that when you met him, he would be just like what you saw. And you can kind of get that from people. And I think that's why some of these huge channels I struggle with. And it's not just those that I mentioned. There's some big homestead channels that when I first started doing this, I was really big into the homestead and stuff. I mean, I was just, really starting to film my garden and all this stuff. Kind of why I started doing it. And I was watching some of these channels and I was like, I can't watch them. And I hear other people that I know and they love them. And I'm like, I see too much that's staged and faked, and they telling me how wonderful this is, and I've tried it, and I know good and well it didn't work that great for me, so I don't know. If it fits, we'll see you later, my brother. And Larry, I do think the guy at Everything Black Powder is very knowledgeable in what he's doing. And I do think he is probably the best that I have seen at making black powder. I don't never want to be guilty of not giving credit where it's due. I do think that guy is a wizard at making black powder, and he has perfected it and is dedicated to it. And I have seen a lot of his videos that I greatly enjoyed, and there was some of them that just, I don't know, the vibes I got, I guess you would call it. Ain't that what they call it now? I just didn't, I don't know. Yeah, Ryan Foster, I like the Outdoor Boys. He gets carried away in his filming techniques sometimes, but I think he does a pretty good job of it. But I like them because Brody loves them, and we watch Outdoor Boys together some. He ain't probably my #1 channel, but I do like what I have seen there. And me and Brody have to watch the same ones over and over. I haven't got to watch a lot of their videos. Brody likes to watch the gar fishing in Louisiana, and we've seen it 100 times. But it's a good one. Uncle Sasquatch, I'm the same way, and that's why I only got about 25,000 right now. Homestead Princess, I edit my videos as I'm filming. In other words, now when I'm fishing, it's a little different because you have to keep the camera rolling so that when you hang a fish, you got him on camera and you burn up a lot of footage. I film on my iPhone, so typically what I do is if there's things I'm going to say do, I film just what I want in my camera. And then all I got to do is go to there and trim the beginning and ending of every clip and piece them together. I'm filming, I'm editing in my mind as I'm filming. I'm looking at shots and what I want to see and what I want to see. And sometimes I do a better job at that than I do at other times. But, but now when I'm fishing and I'm having to just steadily roll, I'll stop and start playing and go fish and won't be trying to talk and stuff. And then if I go 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes and ain't nothing happened, I'll go over there and stop it, delete the footage off the phone and start it back over and go. That way I ain't got a pile of junk to go through when I get back home to the computer. So those kind of little tips help make the process a lot smoother to where when I sit down at the computer to edit, I don't like to spend all night sitting at the computer. I enjoy editing the videos. I very much enjoy editing. But I don't like to have to scroll through a ton of, I don't want to be there all night doing it. In other words, I got life going on. I got other things I need to do. So, it's fun though to me. I edit in your mind. As you're filming, you be looking around, and turn the camera on, do what you're going to do, turn the camera off. I ain't got no whole bunch of extra stuff, I think that is the L Square, I'll tell you, here's Temu in general. Temu is one of those companies that has all kind of products. And you have to look at each individual product. This could be a really good product. This could be a piece of junk. This may be okay. This junk. This is a good product. And you have to look and basically what's going on is in China, everything is produced. Some of the name brands that you buy is the same product that Temu sells. It's overruns from an assembly line. Okay, they wanted a 10,000 for this company that's name brand, and we got an extra 1,000. Well, let's run them through Temu and sell them. You know, we're gonna get rid of. We just won't put no stickers. No, it's the same product. We painted it a different color, or we, didn't put no stickers on it or name, and that's what it is. But the same good company that bought a good product, they may be a product come through here that is a cheap piece of junk, run through the same line, it goes to Temu as well. So when you buy from Temu, you have to sit down and look at every individual thing and figure out, is this junk or is this a quality product? And that's just the facts of it. It ain't like when you say, okay, I'm going to buy from Bass Pro Shops, or I'm going to buy from whatever company that you like, Abu Garcia, which they actually sell Abu Garcia on Temu. The products you buy, you got to individually scrutinize every one of them and look at it very closely. Whether you go to Bass Pro Shops and buy it, well, everything they sell, we're a good company. We only carry quality products, and everything you buy is going to be a good product. Or some name brand based company. The rod, here's my question. I've got a couple of reels that I got from Temu. One of them, when I got it in my hand, this is junk. No question. This is, it will be all right to put on like a jig pole just so I can reel line in and out, let some line in and out, but I'm not going to be fishing reeling with it. It's a plastic piece of junk. It was a $5 reel. I gave $12 for one that I was like, whoa, I like this reel. It is smooth. This is hey. And I bought another one just like it to have as a backup to put on a jig pole. The question I have is the collapsible rod broke. It broke right at the end where it's jointed together. So here's my question. When I hang a really hard fish, which I had hooked a grinnell, he wrapped around a log, and I bowed up and pulled, and it said, a solid rod would have held that, and that's what I'm used to fishing with. So my question is any telescoping rod gonna handle that? This one did not. And I hate it because going through the woods, I would like to have a collapsible rod. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm struggling to see, as in design, any rod taking that much pressure. Going brim fishing, catching small bass, stuff like that, I think those poles would hold up to that. But a grinnell is a fight. And then I caught one grinnell on, I caught one fish, and I broke it. So, will I be buying another collapsible pole? I doubt it. And the reason is because when you get off in the woods and stuff's going to fail, the baits that I have bought from Temu have been as good a bait as any of the other. They're made out of the same plastic material. The spinner baits that are like the Road Runners, the leg is not long enough. But they're the exact same bait that you buy in a Strike King pack that you buy at Walmart. The exact same bait. I've pulled them out because I bought some Strike Kings. I think it's the Strike King one that I bought. One of the brands that I bought, there was 3 come in, and I gave like $5 or $6 for 3 baits. I got a whole pack of them from Temu, and it's the exact same thing. And the problem is the little spinners on there they hit the body they're too short, and they hit the body of your jig and don't spin good. So they don't really work that great. Temu's one of them deals, you've got to look at all the products and buy it. Like the dip net, I bought that fold up dip net off there, man, that is as good as, and basically it's the same dip net that you can buy at Academy Sports. So it's overruns off of other lines of stuff that is shipped here in America and rebranded. I mean, it's the same products. So to sit here and tell you that everything from Temu is junk, that ain't the truth. They have some quality products. To sit here and tell you that everything from Temu is a good product and you just buy whatever you want and you're gonna love it, no, that ain't the case either. There is some junk on there. Know this. There is some junk on there. And that's one of the reasons when the pole broke, I showed you the pole broke. Hey, I ain't hiding nothing. But, it depends on what you're expecting out of something and what you're going to do with it. I don't know. Ryan Forrester, we are getting there. We're getting there to thousands of viewers. We got 107 people that's willing to sit on a Friday night and just listen to me chit chat and hear my opinions on this, that, and the other and answer questions. Local Life Outdoors, Brody is in there on the couch. They got the TV on. He's probably watching Scooby Doo or something and eating his pork chop and ain't got nothing but salt on it. Oh, Lord. Okay, Tommy Jerome, he wears a bandana. Let me find, what did Jerome want to know? I gotta go back. Hey, I love the bandanas. There's a story behind it. Okay, bandana. It just kind of become my thing. As a teenager growing up, a lot of the generation that I looked up to, that was Generation X. I'm not really a millennial. I'm born in that time period I was born in 1981. I hung out with all people older than me. I have never really hung out with people my age. I hung out with the people 2, 3, 4, 5 years older than me through school, and they played football. We had a huge youth group at our church. Young guys, some of them are still my heroes today. People that I looked up to, they just were tough young guys. We played football with no pads, no helmets, and played full contact and played hard. Yes, there was broke bones, there was cuts, blood on Sunday afternoon football between church services. And those guys liked to wear these do-rags, and they thought it was cool, and I did too. So after high school, I quit wearing war hats. It wasn't a fashion thing. And I went all the way around through life wearing caps, ball caps, hat, working on doing diesel mechanic, and wearing hats, and under a diesel truck and all them hat bills kept hitting everything, and I slowly started fading out of the hats, and I got to where I didn't wear nothing at all. Well, then the grease got all in my hair. Then I got to welding. I went to my dad's shop welding with a welding helmet, wouldn't on a hat. I didn't. And then those welding hats, we wash them, they'd shrink. Well, then they'd give you a headache. So I went back to the bandanas. That was my thing. I had wore them on and off. We got to riding motorcycles, so it really, the bandana was my thing. And mainly with the welding. It was what I would wear under a welding helmet because I did not want the welding hood just right on my hair. And I would wear these because when they would wear out or get nasty or whatever, I could throw them in the washing machine. I could tie it back. It wouldn't shrink and tight on my head. And it just become part of my identity. I mean, at my late 20s, I was wearing a bandana every day. Through my 30s, bandana every day. So I'm 42 now. And I'm a 42-year-old man wearing a bandana every day like I'm cool. And it really ain't that. It's just, if I take this off, people don't even know who I am. They don't recognize me. And it just become a habit. But the biggest thing I like is I don't like a bill on a hat. I'm steadily messing with it. I don't know. It drives me insane. I like those something on my head. I don't like big hats. I've got a couple of felt hats. I mean, I like hats, but I don't know. I ain't used to wearing them, and they really annoy me, so I like this. And I can adjust it tight. When they get dirty, I can throw them in the trash. If you take a hat that you really like and you wash it, you can about junk it. It don't never wear the same. It sinks in the middle and looks awful. And I was a really big fan of the trucker mesh, trucker style hats, and I had a lot of them, old classic vintage, Caterpillar, Peterbilt. I've got every kind of truck and diesel mechanic in hat, John Deere, and all of that. And I don't know. They put up. I saved them for Brody. He likes them at times, but I got to wearing this, and it just kind of become my thing. And it's when you develop an identity and start developing, this is me, and I'm doing me, and I don't worry about what nobody else likes or dislikes. I ain't gonna sit here and say I don't care what people think. I do care what people think. I'm not willing to change for people that don't like me how I am. So uh, and it just, I don't know, it just become my thing. So there's, as far as there being a real purpose behind it, it ain't. So I would probably consider it between welding and the motorcycle when I had a Harley, which I rode a Honda Shadow for a long time. And I traded it and got a Harley and kept it for several years. And then I don't have a motorcycle at all now. I traded it for the Polaris Ranger. Tennessee, I may have to go get me one of them collapsible ones. I would try a Placino, but me and them didn't. Our last episode, I don't. I think I may have aggravated them because they got on my nerves, and I told them they got on my nerves, and I ain't heard nothing else out of them. So, their stuff that so far the products I have used from Placino has been good products, and they have a collapsible rod. The deal is it's the same, off the same line of stuff that is made that Temu is selling. So I don't know that it's gonna be any better. It may be as good, and it may be better. I don't really know. I've got a real old one down here that's broke, but it ain't that broke. This one snapped half in two. The one I got down there is just cracked some kind of way, but it was like that when I got it at a yard sale or something. And if you're gonna walk in these creeks and fish for brim and red bellies and that such as that, it would be fine. Crappie fishing, it would be fine for. But we targeting both ends. I mean, the average fish is 5 pounds, so it's gonna take a good rod to hold up to what I'm doing with it. So I don't know. It could be bugs flying behind me. I don't know. Oh, somebody saw a light. Jerome, no communication. Whoa. Got a ghost. I don't know. I missed it, whatever it was back there, and there ain't no telling. They could be. I don't think you can see it. Could I don't know. Might have been a ghost. Ghostesses. Y'all, why is Jerome saying there's no communication tonight? What did I miss? I was going back to see if he had asked something or. I don't even see another comment. Oh well. Oh well. Roscoe's laying right here. He'll let me know if anybody's back there. Come here, bud. Uncle Sasquatch wants to see you tonight. Come here. Come on. There you go. You been running around getting into stuff, huh? He don't like his rocking chair. There ain't nowhere for him to get comfortable up here, hardly. Ain't enough room up here. Hang on, let me move my knife. All right, there. You got room to sit down now? All right. Yeah, and that could be a phone screen, but if there's anybody out there, they'd let me know. I'll have to go back and watch through all that and see. There is a road in the front, which is this way, and it goes by, but I don't think you can see it back. I don't know. If it was like way right over there, you might catch a glimpse of it. But now my dad's shop is straight back behind me over there. You see at the other end of my garden in videos. If there's anything going on over there, you might would see it, but it would be a speck way over there by now. I don't know. I have got a catfish. I don't know what my rods are. Both of my big catfish rods, except for one, I've got three, I think. I found in the swamp down here, like canoeing, and they tangled up in bushes. And so whenever I don't know what they are, but whenever I go fishing with cut bait, where I take a tight line or whatever, and I'm gonna do some of that where I really try to target like the biggest grinnell I can catch, and I'm not gonna be keeping them. I'm probably gonna go down there and catch them and turn them loose, and see. I'm reading y'all's comments while you're talking about pixies. Oh Lord, but those heavy poles are the thing because I want to break my record. I've like a 10-pound grinnell is as big as I ever caught. I want to break that. I got a cousin that caught a 14-pound one at a place up here. So when I do that, I'm probably gonna take my heavier rods for that kind of stuff. But I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Travel from your right to your left. I don't know. Ain't no telling. And this lags from that. Like I'm looking at two screens, and what happens up there, it's a few minutes before I see it. Right? Not a few minutes. It's 10, 15 seconds before I see it here. There ain't no telling what kind of boogers and Sasquatches and ghosts and goblins and whatnot. We'll get Scooby Doo out here to figure out what it is. I've got a lot of two-piece rods, and that's probably what I'm gonna have to go back to collapsing to if I'm needing something. Which I can really get around and do what I'm gonna do with a full-piece rod. It was just a novel idea that you got a collapsible, and I've got another collapsible that I've got like an ultralight that I have caught a lot of crappie on as a Timu pole, and I ain't had no problem with it. But obviously, I ain't hooked nothing like no big grinnell. So anyway, I ain't down a bow, and we got a tree down there. I call it the Christmas tree. It's close to where a lot of people fish from the bank. I find all kind of spinner baits around in that tree. Corks be hanging all of. People can't hide a good fishing hole down there because there'll be so many corks in it. It's you go, hey, let's fish right here. Look at all them corks. This is a good place to fish. That's how you know. Ed Smith, I tell you one thing. They ain't no ghost around here that I'm worried about. I can tell you that because of the Holy Ghost. If he's out there, let him come on. Laser Addict, good night. Daddy said a haint is something there ain't. Jerome Smith, what you got going on there, my brother? You seem to be upset tonight about something. 8 minutes from looks like a headlight. I may have to go back and watch this one, y'all, to see. So we at 9:04. We want to go back to right about 9 o'clock, and I'll check and see what black powder firearms. And what about them? Hadn't practiced well. Have plenty of practice with a high-speed grinder and a palm sander. Most of my welding was done with a wire welder, MIG welder. If you can write your name, you can weld with that. Which we were welding a lot of thin tubing, and the thin tubing I stick welded some of it when I was out on job sites, and I burned a lot of it up. But I finally figured out how to do it. And it just, I don't know, it's hard to weld. It's a lot easier in that shop with a wire welder. So anyway, we travel a lot going to Foley on 45. Yes, Jerome, I am close to Highway 45. It is probably, we go up, when we go to Pickinsville to camp, we'll go up to Sugarlock. And when you come by Sugarlock, that is usually where we turn off. But then 16 Highway goes over to Scuba, and it's probably a 30-minute ride from here up to Sugarlock. So anyway, what is the best way to learn the bait caster? Just get out and fish with it. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure when you mash that button and you holding that rod straight out in front of you, that bait just kind of slowly eases down. Set all that up first, and then as you throw it, you're going to backlash it some. Let your thumb ride on it. You want to put your thumb on that reel before it hits the water or hits a tree or whatever. And if it's too loose, it'll spin out before that. So that's the easiest way to figure it out, but you're going to backlash it some. I pull it till it hangs up, and then I back it up a little bit, and there'll be a kink spot, and I grab that and pull it up. And you can pull it out in just a few minutes. I'm mad that Sprite is getting darker. You just bought a Deer Stalker 50 caliber. I have still got to order a barrel for my, I don't know what mine is. Uncle Sasquatch told me what it was. And I am going to order one. It's a Hunter Hawken, I think it is. And I'm gonna order a barrel for it and put it on there some point this summer. Once the garden is done and I'm through harvesting for the most part, as far as like peas and corn and putting up and all that, I'm gonna try to. It'll be too hot really to do a lot of fishing. I'm going to get me a fan set up in my workshop, but I'm going to put a new barrel on that rifle, and I'm going to get it tuned in. The only problem is that I have, for the most part, is getting me a place to deer hunt. I'm wanting to build a 54 or either a 62 smoothbore that I can at least squirrel hunt with shot. I love my little 36, but son, you tearing that netting up. You look at it, it won't even stick together no more. He shredded that net over there. So anyway, it's I've got to get one. CVA Hunter Hawkins, Sasquatch said. But I do want to get that done and get my black powder. I need to make another batch of black powder to see if I can get it fine-tuned. I just got to get me a place to deer hunt. Y'all, this public water public land back here is hugely overpopulated with people. Mike Culpepper, most of the Pedans from the Preston area I'm going to be related to distantly. Brody, get that balloon off that cooker. And it's because my great-great-great-grandfather was Moses Peden, owned most of the land in Kemper County. Pre-Civil War, he had a plantation there, and there is a lot of Pedans still in Neshoba County, and all of them are going to be related. It's going to be distantly, depending on how far back you go. But all the Pedans came over here as one family. John and what's her name, Peden, they came in whatever and fought in the Revolutionary War. So they branched out from there, and there was one family that came down Sam Peden and bought land, and Sam's son, I think one of them, Moses Peden, had a big plantation. So I'm gonna be related to them some way or another. The roadbed that crosses Kemper Lake is Peden Road. The roadbed that is buried under the lake, that is Peden Road. So Jerome, I've got two barrels that is rusted out. One is on a little Investa Arms short rifle, beautiful little rifle, but it is way worse than the one that I was trying to get to shoot the other day. The sabots would literally nearly fall down the barrel. It's worse than it, and that is why if you go back and watch my first videos, you seen me patching a sabot, those bullets that I was making myself. And the reason I was patching them is I was new to this. I didn't know what I was doing. And I went to shove it. I thought, well, you're supposed to just put these in a barrel. Well, when I went to put them in the barrel, they just dropped down in there. And I'm like, well, that ain't going to work. So I started patching them. Well, in my mind, that told me, well, you need to patch them all. I didn't realize that this barrel was... And what it is these are all rifles that somebody bought years ago and hunted with them when muzzleloaders were a necessity here for primitive weapon deer season, and they did not take care of them. They put them up loaded, they propped them in a corner or whatever else. You know, I don't know exactly what happened, but this is my theory. And well, whenever we went to where you can have the 45-70, the 444, the 35 wheeling as a primitive weapon, well, they didn't want these old muzzleloaders anymore, and they knew I liked this stuff, and they was like, hey, you can have this, or I'll trade this to you for... I think I traded two of them for a knife I made. I made a knife and traded for the rifle, and then I had one guy just gave me one, and it's the one I like the best, and that's the one I'm going to put a new barrel on. One of them I traded a knife for. I think I didn't get it out and try to shoot it. Probably I could salvage, but the one that is the worst, I am probably at some point this summer going to take sandpaper on a dowel rod, and I want to see if I can do myself to smooth the bore out. And I think I probably can, but I don't really know. I'm going to try to smooth it out, but we'll see. Y'all wondering about this? You know, the guy that I watched talk about how wonderful it was put 2 tea bags in his. It's a little more like tea, but it's still very much just carbonated tea. I mean, it's all right. I can sit here and drink the whole thing. What? Yeah, you got your balloon on a piece of paracord. That ought to work out for you.
Yeah, now it won't float later because I'm holding it. I'm going to keep it forever.
Charlie, good night. Good to see you tonight. Oh, Appalachian Explorers, not Jerry Clower tonight. Surely, oh, Lord, no. We can't have no Jerry Clower tonight. I hadn't listened to no Jerry Clower in the last few weeks. And the ones I know I've done told to death. Tudor, how are you? Stevens 410 double barrel side by side. Watch, 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 watch. Get out of my cords. See this? You didn't see it's all right. Come around over here. No, I hadn't eaten nothing. They in there, let them eat. Did you eat your pork chop, Brody?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
With no seasoning?
Yeah.
You wouldn't tell a lie, would you?
Nope.
We finna have to check on this pork loin that is on the grill. It's still cooking. Good night, Larry Alexander. Good to see you, my brother.
Yeah, we too late.
Glad you hung out with us for a while. Yep, I know a lot of y'all have to get up early morning. A lot of y'all are an hour behind me. Elizabeth Reeks, see you next time. I do appreciate y'all hanging out. I am fixed to go over here, y'all. We're going to check on this pork loin. I have got to see about it and make sure that make sure it ain't just melted and drizzled all down. Oh Lord, y'all. Look at there, y'all. I like to fell down backwards. Look at that.
I need to tell them people.
I'd right there make a puppy pull a freight train.
I need to show them people.
What you need to show them people?
I need to show them my balloon.
He's got to show y'all his balloon. I'm finna have to get that off. I gotta get something over here to put that in. Look, you let me turn this over here where they ain't seeing all the junk over there in the background. Show them your balloon. Y'all, I'm gonna go get something to get that pork loin off and put it in. I guess I have got this. All right. Here I am. I'm over here. Oh, I got this thing off right here, y'all.
Brody?
You want to try this?
Not right now. Hey, if you're going to stay out here, you stay on the rug. Don't get nasty.
He done had his bath, ain't he?
Yeah, he's clean for bed.
Oh, y'all. Ain't I got a fork in here somewhere? M4 laser addicts.
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the camera. Look at him. Let me wipe it off. I used it one day, I think. Yeah, look at him. I was trying not to cut that tinfoil all to pieces, but I feel sure I just did. I got the sample. You know that's finna burn all the hair off my tongue. Well, the bacon was good.
Try that.
Son, I put seasoning on this. It's got flavor to it, but it ain't hot.
I want to taste it. Sure do. I'm going to love it.
Are you?
Yes.
All right, there you go. It's hot now. Don't drop it. Hold it over this if it's too hot to hold. Lay it on that cutting board. All right. Y'all, I'm going to carry the rest of this on in. I'm gonna lay me a piece or two of it out right here.
I'm gonna lay my piece out.
You just leave that laying right there, okay?
The flies
That
can get
cream
on
cheese.
it. The flies can get on that.
Well, you gonna eat it, ain't you?
Is it hot?
I don't know. When it cools off, it won't be. I about got a mess made out here. I can tell you that.
That's so good. It's not hot.
I know it ain't hot. But I'm going to carry the rest of it in because the flies will get on it. I'll eat after a while. So let me take this in the house. You entertain. Where you going? Stand there and keep the flies off my piece.
But I'm scared.
You scared of what?
Monsters. Will you come out there?
What'd you do? Did you get it to eat?
Took bite. With blood on it.
Did you say the blessing in there over it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. As long as you said the blessing over it. Because I ain't said the blessing.
I want a piece of...
Do we need to say the blessing again?
No.
Oh, okay.
I want a
We
piece
just sampling. We ain't eating, are we?
I want to put a piece of...
Dear Lord, we're so thankful for this food. Pray you bless it, nourish our body, give us strength, good health. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Look at that. Oh, he got his balloon out here on a string. All right, I'm gonna eat this. Old Jerry said he was over there helping them leadbetters swapping work, paying them back for helping him cut firewood. He said they was digging a dug well, went in for dinner to eat. Said they was all sitting around the table in there eating. He said, and all of them was there. Said there's Ardell, Burnell, Raynell, WL, Linnell, Odell, Udell, Marcel, Claude, Eugene, and Clovis. Uncle Verson ain't fit. He said, we was eating. I said, all of a sudden, Eugene said he is a lying Ledbetter, meanest young'un ever was. Jumped up and started screaming, there's a lion in the yard, he's gonna eat us up. Well, everybody jumped up, looked, and said there wasn't no lion in the yard. But he said there was a big collie dog. And said the man that owned that dog had took a pair of shears in a hot summer and said he'd sheared all the hair off that dog. Said he left a ring of hair around his neck and a little patch of hair on the end of his tail. Said Uncle Versi turned around and said, what? Said he slapped Eugene down just flat of his back. He said, Eugene, he said, son, said, I done whooped you for lying. He said, I done got on you for lying. He said, I don't know nothing else to do but to turn it over to the Lord. He said, you go out yonder in that smokehouse. He said, you've talked to the Lord and you asked the Lord to forgive you for the sin of lying. And he said, don't you come back till you feel like you've talked to the Lord. Said Marcel, said Eugene wouldn't go in 10 minutes. Come back. Uncle Verse asked him, said, you feel like you've talked to the Lord? Said, yes, sir. You feel like the Lord has forgive you for the sin of lying? He said, yes, sir. He said, matter of fact, the Lord talked directly back to me while I was out there, and he said, Eugene, he said, Eugene, don't lie about God. Eugene said, I ain't lying. Said I could hear him speak to me just as clear as I can hear your voice right now. Said, but one of the other ones spoke up and said, well, Eugene said, you mind sharing with us what the Lord told you? He said, no, I don't mind telling you. He said the first time he saw that dog, he thought it was a lion too. You know, that ain't bad. I think the darker it gets, probably the better it is. It ain't nothing to write home to mama about. It ain't gonna make nobody no $1 million. Cracking foot said, remind my uncle from Alabama. I may be kin to him. You don't never know. I like me some Jerry Clower now. I got a piece of that cheese fell off on the ground over him. I'll wipe it on my britches right there. You know, that's what them's for, is to wipe your hands on. If it wasn't for wiping your hands in Mississippi, they wouldn't be no use in wearing britches. Son, what you doing with that rifle in your hand? Well, I have done disoriented my
When are we gonna have rat killing?
A rat killing? Well, we can't do it while we filming alive.
No, when we don't film it live. When we don't film it live.
Yeah, we might go shoot. We killed one last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we shot one, but we couldn't find it.
We shooting with that 22 pistol. We done had us a rat killing, y'all.
We can't shoot one 22 pistol.
We may have to get out there and get that exhaust pipe, wrap it around, and get that inner tube, go around the exhaust pipe of that car, and run the other end down under them nesting boxes where them rats is going in that hole. I bet they'll come out from under there then, won't they?
Yeah. We said wet trap. We don't say wet.
Oh, Lord.
We don't say wet traps everywhere.
For all good things, when I make the next batch, I am probably going to add a little more table salt to it. I did not put any table salt. I think a little bit of table salt would probably help the batch some. And I've got some in a jar. I may wind up adding some to it. But it's one of them deals, it's more of an idea than it is actual ingredients. But the cinnamon is the thing. I put a whole bottle of cinnamon in there and people's like, what? But I like that cinnamon. And once you mix it with all the other stuff, it gets diluted way down. So if you put just a little bit, you don't really ever taste it unless, I don't know.
Now you won't float away.
Hey, Ryan, that pork loin's good now, especially that cheese, jalapeños, and the bacon and all on there. Mary L., good night. Glad you hung out with us for a little while. And y'all, I know there's a lot of you ask questions. I missed stuff. There's no possible way that I can keep up with every comment. I mean, there's times I go back and scroll back through. I don't know, Kim. We'll work something out. Message me somewhere if you can get on my. If you can email me. I don't seem to get as much traffic on my email, and it's usually where I can find it. If you comment in anything, it gets lost in the shuffle pretty quick, and I don't never see it again. Like if I answer a comment, by the time you reply to it again, it don't notify me that I've got a new. So the comment section is not a good place really to communicate. Not if you need an answer to something. Now my Facebook messengers, y'all on the Facebook messengers, you trying to get a hold to me, Brody, go play over yonder where I can't think with him right here hollering. If you're messaging me on Facebook, message me primarily on the Spirit of the Outdoors Facebook page. If you get on my personal, I know a lot of people in their mind, they think, well, I'm going to be on my personal Facebook page. I very rarely pull it up and check it. So if you message my Justin Peden Facebook, you less likely to get a reply. And it ain't because I ignore you. I have to swap over on my phone from one account to the other one to check it, and I do that about once a week. I can't keep up with all of it. I'm doing Instagram too. I get a lot of messages on Instagram, and a lot of it is spam type stuff. Like people will just send you random reels and stuff, and I don't really do reel reacts. I'll see them and be like, oh, that's cool. Most of them stuff I done seen, but Tennessee Smokey, thanks for joining us tonight.
Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, they Appalachian Explorers, they is damn. Come over here, Brody. Come here. Show them your rifle. What you doing? They hear all this racket. We got a sniper rifle. What we shooting? Rats. Okay. Well, let's go over yonder and shoot them. Whoa, now if you uncharge my phone. This thing ain't even working no more. I've had this plugged up, y'all. The battery ain't even on. I think I done killed it. I got all the juice out of that one. Yep, that ain't working no more. We can unplug it. We got 53%, so we got the life we needed out of it. That and is solar powered. I have got it on Amazon. It works good, but now the other one, Miss Lena Carr sent me for doing cow stuff. I did some reels and extra stuff from them. And it is a really good brick, and it's not solar powered though. But it'll charge my iPhone up 3 or 4 times off of one charging. So I got it, and then I've got another brick that somebody gave me. The Homestead Princess, you need to go back and watch my videos last fall of me building this apparatus. We peeled pine trees. Oh, Lord. The hardest part of all of this out here was peeling pine trees. These big old logs right here, but y'all, I am proud of them. And the thing I am proud of the most is all of this was cut off of this place. I mean, and that is what I'm about. My whole thing is you can live cheap and have nice stuff if you don't mind doing some hard work. And how long are they going to last? I don't know. But here's my theory. If they start rotting and I can jack this up, cut that out, put another post in it, so it's not, I pegged all of this as far as the post goes with wood so that I can take a chainsaw and cut it loose. But I ain't got a lot of money in it. I spent all my money that I spent on the metal roofing and the insulation. Put insulation under your porch roof, because if you don't, it will condensate, and it ever purling, it'll drip down. The insulation forces the condensation up onto the top. And so I've got about $1,000 in the insulation in the metal up there. So it was about $900 and something, I think, time I bought 10 sheets of 23-foot metal, and then one roll of insulation to go with it. So the rest of it is all hand peeled, and then some 2x4s that we had sawed, they were cut off of this place too. So I dreamed it up, and I knew I wanted an outdoor back kitchen. And I tell you what happened. My wife got to fussing at me about all my cookers and stuff being on the front porch. She said, I can't decorate for Christmas. It just looks junked up here. Oh, you got a grill and this. And my Blackstone was out there, and then I had a fish cooker sitting over there. You don't need all that on the front porch, not when the wife's want to decorate. And I like to decorate for Christmas too, but I wanted it back here where the biggest thing is I like to film these videos. What?
I saw something.
Was it a light?
No.
Well, they said there was a light out there floating around a while ago.
Not me.
You didn't see a light out there nowhere? No. Anyway, but I wanted to film these videos, and on the front porch, if somebody drove up or anything like that, people don't know you filming when they come driving up the yard, especially family. Watch. And so, there's been a time or two my mom and dad drove up to get him or to see him or something, and I'm sitting there filming on the front porch, and they felt embarrassed, and then they wouldn't hardly come back up here and said, "You always got that camera on," and they didn't want to be on camera. So I get all this back here where if they pull up, they ain't like walking into the camera being on. Dinah, pretty soon, I say pretty soon. I'm wanting to pull a water line from over there into here. And once I get the water line in here, then I want to build a wall across that side over there because I want to rearrange. I want my cookers against the wall, and my mom and dad had a glass door on the front of their house that the hinge messed up on. Door's perfect. So I kept the old one. I'm a junker. When I see junk, I'm like, I can make something out of that. Well, I brought that whole big glass door up here, and I mean it's like a screen door, but it's all glass. And I'm gonna frame it sideways like a window over there on that side because I don't want to block all the light. It's dark in my living room anyway, and those French doors is the only light. Well, if I block all this in, it's gonna really be dark in there. Not to mention, I want to be able to sit here and see out, but I want to block that wind and rain that blows in from the west side over there when we have storms. It's always blowing in that way. And once I do that, I'm going to put my sink on that side over there. So that's kind of my plan, hopefully this summer sometime. And then we're probably going to put sand under here and level everything out with sand. And then we're going to buy pavers and put down on the sand. Because I just really don't want a slab. And the reason is cooking all this grease and stuff, cooking fish cookers and moving stuff around. Y'all see how I do. I ain't spick, span clean. I'm throwing stuff, dropping stuff. And once you get all that mess on concrete, you can clean it, but I'm going to put the pavers down where if something bad happens, I could change it out if I needed to. But then I'm going to do a band of gravel all around so my fish cookers will stay out close to the edge on that gravel. I'm going to do like gravel out 3-4 foot from the edge and just do the pavers in the middle where the tables are going to be. And then my biggest thing is where this rocking chair you see me rocking in, this is a rocking chair I salvaged. I'm going to hang a swing up back here. And they had one that I set in that is made out of round like logs type deal. And that's what it matches out here, and that's what I want. So I want a swing over here instead of this rocking chair. This rocking chair ain't the ideal thing. And I salvaged it just so that I could get by till then, I guess you would say. So anyway, it's just, I wanted to film cooking videos. And I didn't want it to wherever which way I turn. Because I grab that camera, y'all, I'll be pointing it every direction. I get all the background stuff. And y'all, you never know how much junk you got and stashed around your house till you start editing videos and you go, man, look back there behind. Look at what is all that junk. I had stuff piled up, and they still stuff everywhere. And there'll always be some stuff in the, because it's real life and you got to have stuff and it's got to be somewhere. But you don't want just junk piled everywhere. Not if you film, or I don't. If it don't bother you and it's your yard, you do like you want to, That don't bother me. But, you got all that junk everywhere and you're like, man, so I started cleaning up. And the more I cleaned up, the more I got to look around, well, what am I going to do with it? And I'm going to tell you the biggest problem that we got is there's nowhere to throw stuff. Honestly. You can't go to the landfill because they'll sit there and say, oh, you can't unload this here and you can't put that there and we can't accept this and you got that. Well, if you got to dig through it, sort it and haul it 3 different places, that is why people go and dump stuff on the side of the road somewhere in a ditch. Now, I'm not for that. I'm totally against that. We've junked up, especially Mississippi's pretty bad. You ride down our highway between here and town, and man, there's more garbage. You couldn't haul it in the back of 5. Shoot, you could fill up 2 or 3 dump trucks. I promise you could. And we don't have a program here where the county picks up anything. So I ain't for throwing stuff nowhere. Don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying, I understand why people do that. Because they won't let you have a place that, hey, you go dump everything and they, you know, do something with it, recycle it, so whatever they need to do with it. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I can see where it's. But I try to reuse and repurpose a whole bunch of stuff. So all of what you're seeing here is like this tin right here on this fireplace. That's all recycled tin. The glass door, my mom and them was going, they got to dispose of that door and throw it away somewhere. I'm like, hey, I can make a window out of that. I'll take it. So, you know, I guess that's in my mind, my little part of helping clean up the world by trying to repurpose and a lot of my stuff in my house. I mean, there's a barn basically turned inside out in there. The metal ceilings is all off the roof of a barn. The barn wood all in the walls is off of a barn we tore down. So, Lady Hammer, I ain't seen you in a while. Maybe I just missed your comments or something. I don't know. Algernon, I agree. I agree. It takes a while if you start with bare land. But it is possible. It is possible. I'm like old Fred Sanford now. Old Fred Sanford, he said, I got junk. I like my junk. He said, but there's junk and there's junk. He said, that stuff over there, junk. I don't remember what episode that was on. I love me some Fred Sanford. Now, I haven't watched old Fred Sanford in a long time, but I like some Fred Sanford now. I have got what I call a resource pile. I ain't never showed this on camera. I don't even know what all's in it right now, but I cleaned up one time and went through a lot of my junk that had accumulated when I started building the house, I guess, and then some leftover stuff from the house build that wasn't wood and junk. And I carried it down there to a pile that a lot of people would call a junk pile, and I call it my resource pile. So that's where my resources are when I need to make something. I go down there and rummage around and see what I got to work with. A recycled log cabin. You know, there ain't no log cabins here. And our humidity is so high, things rot fast. I mean, the old cars won't last here. So I don't know if we're at that happy medium of just enough salt air off the Gulf. And I don't know how far salt air travels up, but as far as rust, I just know here metal rust in no time. And it ain't like it rusts down on the coast. I mean, down there it rusts really fast. Those of you that live close to the coast know, you can testify. But wood here, there's no old wood log cabins left. I know where maybe 2 are that I know of in driving distance. And even then, they have to be like really preserved and coated and sprayed and I don't know what all. So you can't make nothing last here. But I do want to build a log cabin, y'all. One day in my life, I've told my wife, I said, I don't figure I'll stay here forever. I would like to, if I could own more land here, I guess. I require a lot of place to roam and ramble. I would like, and there's just a lot of people. There's nowhere to deer hunt. You can't, the deer hunting has got expensive. It is a money man's game is what it is. It's got to be, the common man that just likes to grab his rifle and go shoot a deer for food really ain't got a prayer. And that's what I am. As far as me trophy hunting, I like to kill a big buck as much as the next guy, but so if I could get more land here where I could just hunt for my food, it would be one thing. But I would like to build a log cabin somewhere. So if I ever move and leave this, I would like to leave it to my daughter or Brody one. Build me another smaller cabin somewhere later in life. I would like to build a real log cabin. I mean, from the ground up. I would put a floor in it, obviously, but I would like to take a chainsaw or axe and just build one. I would have to have, tractor with forks so I could handle the logs like I did here. I mean, I don't want to just like primitively hand build everything, but I would like to build my own log cabin. So I don't know. Maybe that'll happen one day in life. Lady Hammer, that is totally understandable. I do the same thing. Just good to see you and hear from you. I hadn't forgot you. When I see people that come in on a regular basis and you go a little while you don't see them, or you always wonder. I messaged somebody that I hadn't heard from in over a year. Today I thought about something that reminded me of them, and I emailed them, and I got a reply. I don't require everybody to watch it. I mean, if you don't watch me for a while, I'm not offended. I really ain't. Because my attention span, like I'm interested in this for a while, and then you get burned out on it. By all means, go watch something else. Don't feel obligated. Your mind drifts. Mine does. Our bass fishing has become a money thing in Tennessee. Bass fishing is like that here too. I bass fish because I enjoy bass fishing. Not as much as grinnell fishing, but as a kid, I grew up pond hopping. We would go from this pond on a four-wheeler to this pond, and in the summer and the springs, what we did as a kid, me and a buddy of mine, we bass fished. And we wouldn't have nothing but that Abu Garcia you saw me fishing with the other day that I redone it. I had it on, I don't know, some rod. I don't even remember what rod I had. And we'd have a couple of packs of worms, and that was it. We didn't have no tackle box full of stuff. I did have a few devil horses after I finally got a little tackle box. And, man, we caught a bunch of bass. I mean, they wasn't huge bass, but that was what I enjoyed. There's no way I would want to tournament bass fish. I cannot see where it would interest me at all to tournament bass fish. If I can't just enjoy it, my favorite thing is to be able to turn the camera on and have a little bit of luck where I can pick, carry on, and all that. One thing, I get frustrated if I'm not having any luck. I'm just over and over and over not getting no bites. It gets frustrating, but anyway. I think everybody gets frustrated though about that. But it's still more enjoyable than working every time. Homestead Princess, peel them logs. If there's bark on there, they'll eat it here in a couple of months. Be bug holes all in it. Get the bark off, peel the logs, and then burn it. Take a torch, build a fire, roll them around in the fire. That burning it helps preserve it. And then I rub the oil on these, but the guy from Smoky Mountain Outpost is really who inspired me to build this way. And I don't know of anybody around here that has done all that to a log. Now, my dad has got rough cut wood on buildings, and he has sprayed them with Thompson's water seal. And he'll mix that up and spray it with a sprayer he's got. And it seems to preserve it, but that's the only way that it does here, because our humidity is like y'all's. It's so bad that it can... Wood don't last. No, like those raised beds, if you go back the other day and saw me tearing into those, shoveling it dirt, man, that rotten wood, that was logs two to 3 years ago that I peeled and laid out there, but I didn't do anything but peel them. Without peeling them, they won't last a year. Peeling them, I got like 3 years out of them. So peeling it, then burning it and rubbing it with oil should buy me several more years. How many more years? I don't know now. What is in the ground right here is really black. I really burned that part good. Now this up through here, I just kind of lightly went over and darkened it. So Appalachian Explorers, a devil horse is my all-time favorite #1 topwater bait. Late in the evening, when them bass is a-splashing the top of the water over there close to the edge, you can throw that devil's horse out there and ain't even got to reel it. Just let it sit there a minute. And about that time, you'll say, always fun. But now, I'm going to tell you, it's a nightmare getting all them treble hooks out of a fish's mouth, because he'll have all 3 of them hung up in his head. And the ones ain't in his head will be hung in his tail. He'll have them all tangled up. But Devil's Horses, that was one of my number one top water bait. And then I didn't even know what a buzz bait was and them jitterbugs and stuff till later on in life. But they ain't much better than watching bass come up out of the bottom and just hit a top water bait late in the evening. It's a lot of fun. And I hadn't got to do it in a while. I need to be going over there to my dad-in-law's pond and aggravating his bass a little more. But now, you know them brims bedded over there. And me and Brody's got a cage of crickets down there left over that I've been nursing. About half of them done died. But we was going to go over there and see if them brim would bite. But be honest with you, I done ate fish and ate fish and ate fish. Now I got pork chops and pork loin to eat. Reckon how long it'll take me to eat this whole pork loin up? We cut half of it up pork chops. The other half, it might show up in the video from up there at Tom Bigby. We might have to break it back out up there and warm it up. I think, y'all, I'm going to go up there and take my little fish cooker right here and a cast iron Dutch oven to fry fish in. And we got one of them big skillets, and I'm going to put that big skillet on there and use it like just a big flat serve to cook whatever I want to it. Like it'd be like a flat top griddle. So we're going to see. I don't know what I'm going to take up there and cook. We're going to try to make a cool video up there. Especially with Brody running his jug lines. I got to forge him tomorrow a hook to put on a pole to hook jugs with. I got to get that done. We're getting flooded here in Central Texas. My mama-in-law was talking to Michelle earlier about flooding. Said there was cars flooded somewhere. What part of Texas? That's in Central Texas, so that's got to be around Dallas area. Didn't hear Charlie Pickerel. That's about where he's from. Talk about it. Sasquatch, we'll see you next time, my brother. Glad you hung out with us. Brody, what are you doing with that cold drink? No, I don't. What do you need one for?
I'm tired.
Well, here, why don't you drink some of this?
I want this.
Try this.
Oh,
Why?
it's hot.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't. Taste of it.
No.
It's not hot. Look. Come here and taste of it one time. Taste of it. All right, then you can't have that.
Fine.
Just a taste. It ain't hot.
What is it?
It's Sprite with tea in it.
That's good.
Well, tell them. They was wondering.
That's good.
You want the rest of it?
Oh, this is.
Okay. Show them what you got. Canada Dry ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
Whoa. Hang on. Let me help you open that, little buddy. Oh, I seen doctor visit. I've got to have the timing adjusted on my heart next Tuesday. Uncle Sasquatch will have you in our prayers. I will make sure we keep you in our prayers. I know most of the time that is a minor little deal, but still, anytime you go to the doctor and listen to their opinion, it is a gamble. So
Good. You want a drink?
don't you spill that everywhere. But we'll keep you in our prayers for serious. Y'all, keep Miss Jenny Blair. Y'all have seen her comment in some videos. I don't know if she's watching. I don't know, but she buried her husband this past weekend. I didn't find out about it till yesterday when Michelle talked with her, and I need to call her, and I hadn't had time. Keep her in your prayers. She's struggling. I have been praying for her and her husband for a while, and she has supported us and been good to us for a long time. So keep Miss Jenny Blair in your prayers. She needs comfort, and it's tough. And still keep Mr. Jack Jarman. He buried his wife here a year ago. It's been about a year now, and
That's like way more.
my heart goes out to people that have lost loved ones. There's a man in our neighborhood that buried his wife back last fall, and it's tough on them. You know, people, and we're talking about people that have been married 50 years nearly, you know. It wasn't like, you know, well, we just been married a little while, or, you know, the whole life been spent together. And it's tough. So keep those folks in your prayers. They would greatly appreciate it. And I know y'all prayer works. But Uncle Sasquatch, we will be praying for you to go to the doctor and get your heart checked on. We want to keep you around a while. We like you.
That's good.
South of Waco in the country. Well, y'all, it is 9:55. I am winding down. Me and Brody, don't knock that drink over. He's got it sitting in a chair with him, and he's just bouncing around like popcorn popping. So anyway, we are fixing to...
Somebody put spider webs in my drink.
No, they didn't. You making up stuff. You getting bad as Eugene Ledbetter. So y'all, anyway, thank y'all for hanging out tonight. I'm going to close this day. It's 10 o'clock. We have went on and on and on for long enough. We've been on here long enough.
Yes!
Don't be screaming.
Okay!
You want to spank him?
No!
We're going to have to get our belt.
No.
He's not had a belt applied to him in quite a while, and I think it shows.
Pop, 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 pop. Popcorn. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, get over there and sit down, man. So anyway, y'all, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching. And Lady Animal said good night, Brody.
Good night.
So I have enjoyed it. Enjoyed cooking, enjoyed talking. I'm going to have to go back now, y'all, and watch at the 9-minute mark and see if I can figure out what that light was that went bebopping across the yard. Ooh. So anyway,
that made me a ghost.
we'll see y'all next time. Remember, the best way to do things. And we'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Y'all have a good one.